Kitchen Stuff and
Tina Stitches.
We're glad you're joining us today. Finally.
Yay!
I'm so excited. So, I'm Sarah.
I'm Kim.
I'm Tina.
And we're joining forces today to bring like the ultimate Flosstube episode for you.
Ultimate
Flosstube. And we were both all just talking about how crazy it is that it's May 1st already. So
Yeah,
but Tina, you said you still have snow on the ground.
lots of snow.
Just
Really?
Yeah, we've had rain for the last week though, so a lot of it is gone. But because the ground is still frozen, it's sitting on top and it's causing flooding in some areas.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It can't penetrate.
I'm good up on a hill, so I'm not worried about it. My son is just downhill from me and his basement's been getting water, and so he's got a sump pump running very often to get that out.
Oh man.
When was the last time you actually got snow?
Maybe a week ago.
Yeah, because my kids in Duluth got snow a couple, within the last
days
week.
ago, I feel like.
Chastity opened the door, like, what the heck is this? You know, because
Yeah.
she came from here where everything's blooming but it didn't stick. Theirs didn't stick, but it was cold. It was down in the 20s again during the day. So.
But we had snow a few weeks ago. Like that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Some of the flowers on the trees are frost burned. So
are they?
I'm wondering what the harvest will be like for not ours. Ours are okay, but like I've noticed some of the orchards when we drive by.
Yeah. I saw a long range forecast for our area for summer. It's supposed to be warmer than normal and dry again. But we shouldn't have the triple digits like last year, they said. That was like a once in a decade thing. I'm like, well, I'm not holding my breath because we've had hot summers probably for the last 5 years. I don't think we've had a cool summer forever. And we've had a really rainy, cool winter. So
Tina, do fires affect you up where you are? Or do you guys not have too much of the wildfire season like we now do?
Oh, we have wildfires. Our fire season started, I think, April 1st.
Okay.
But I mean, that's just a date that they pick.
Right.
But it's because of all this snow that we've had this year and the rain, we're going to have a low fire season this year. It was bad last year.
Yeah.
We had a few really big fires, but
they're hoping, because I always feel like, you know, we have the mountains that give us our snowpack, and we had a really good snowpack. But what I didn't realize until I was reading this article is that what measures whether we're going to be in drought or not is how long the snowpack stays up there. Not so much that it melts and goes into our reservoirs. It's how long the snow stays, and we lose our snow earlier and earlier every year because it's warming. It warms up sooner, I guess. So our wildfire, we never used to have wildfires, never in this area, never got smoke from wildfires. We already the other day, last Sunday, we were driving through downtown Seattle and we went on the way to Seattle. It was beautiful, blue sky, sunny, beautiful day. We were in a seminar for Carrie's retirement, and we came out like 2 hours later and it was hazy. And I thought, oh, and I pulled up my weather app and we were getting smoke from Siberia wildfires already. It was upper level, so we didn't smell it and it wasn't hurting our air quality, but it definitely was a haze there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not even May. And I mean, that was last week. So
and last summer we had our air quality was affected by the smoke in the area.
Yeah.
Even the hospital in Thunder Bay, when we went down for the surgery in July, they were having air quality alerts.
Are they?
Yeah. And that's our norm now where we are.
Yeah.
From like August to early October is just, we never used to have air quality problems. And now the last probably like 10 years, there's weeks of the year where you just don't go play outside. And if you do, it's for short amounts of time. And weird. That's that's new.
I read a blog post last summer from a gal that lives in Missoula, Montana. And it was her dream place to live. I think she grew up in Spokane and then moved to Missoula, Montana. And she said it's like hell there every summer now, because they basically they have wildfire the whole summer. So you don't get to go out. I mean, Missoula is a beautiful area in Montana, but they can't even go out because every year now, I think it sits down maybe, so the smoke comes in and settles.
In the valley.
So yeah, I'm hoping that they start getting some control over these situations.
Yeah, hopefully. But I guess we're not there yet. We can still, I'm enjoying spring. It's sunny and pretty here today, so I'm just gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, not here.
Well,
I don't
you're
have snow on the ground,
shouldn't
but
expect that.
it's gray. It's gray. It's gray.
Yeah, it's gray.
It's gray there too.
It's gray and snow.
Snow.
And snow. We have sun and no wind, which is like the best combination in spring. But we had a lot of rain and drizzle yesterday.
You got your snow didn't you start getting your snow really late too, Tina? Didn't you feel like you guys started getting snow late? I feel like people were.
It might have been.
People in Canada were saying, yeah, it's already such and such, and we don't even have any snow yet.
Yeah, I think it was pretty late, but it's been long enough. I don't care how late it was.
Yeah. Now it's time to be done.
May, we're done.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, we have one girl sharing with us today. Are you ready? You want to come say hello and show what you've been working on?
Millie has Hall too, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Come on over.
It was her birthday.
So Millie, tell us what the big deal has been this last week. Come from the screen. Come over.
I'm just getting my stuff.
Getting your stuff. What happened this week for you?
I had a birthday.
Wait, what?
I had a birthday.
You had a birthday.
Happy birthday.
How old are you now?
11.
11. Yay.
Wow.
No way. I
11.
refuse to accept this.
Do you have a birthday party yet? What's happening? Are you having a birthday party?
Yes.
Yeah. Like when?
On Tuesday.
And what are we doing? Well, you're having a party with friends, and we're gonna make weaving, like wall hanging tapestry type weavings with big chunky yarn. And we're having, what did I make for you last night?
An ice cream cake.
I made my first ice cream cake.
Ooh.
It's in the freezer ready to be
Right
decorated.
over.
That's what she wanted. So we're excited. Birthday party. So she has a little haul from her birthday. But first you want to show what you have. We're working on it, looks like.
No, I haven't seen you for a few weeks. I expect great progress on this.
Okay, so I'm working on this Christmas
Nice.
sampler. And I'm on this square.
Show us.
So now we have to open
Your
it.
fabric has that nice, worn, used feeling.
Mhm.
Soft. Here, let's put the
Wow.
sun is kind of bright.
Look,
Look at
So
that.
I don't think you'd even done the teddy bear square last time we saw you.
Yeah, she might have just started it or something.
Yeah. I think she was maybe in this S square.
You did all this border since you showed last, and I think you were up.
I think I
Around
was
here.
doing this border. I started on this border.
You think you had finished the teddy bear last week?
I don't remember seeing the teddy bear or the snowman done.
Pretty sure I finished the snowman at least.
Well, it's
Wow.
I kind of remember the snowman.
Do you? I mean, I feel like she was in
From
that square, but
angel one.
cute.
Or in the A. Yeah, it's so cute.
You're almost done.
Julie for this pattern because it's turning out so cute. Yeah, and you want to show your haul?
Yes.
Getting organized. She's better at that than I am.
Her floss probably looks like yours though.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Does it? Let's see. No, she won't let me see. Okay, so then what did you get?
This.
Oh, Stitchy Princesses.
Yeah.
So this is the one. Lots of people are working on this right now because
Yeah.
she's in Ukraine. So people have been supporting her store. Stitchyprincess.etsy.com. Do you want to show what else is in
What do
there?
you have for your fabric? Mama's kitted it up for you.
Yeah. I gave her 2 choices, but I recommended that one. This is the other color choice,
I
but
like this
I
one.
think she should go with that one.
Mhm.
I don't think the greens are quite right to go with that one. But I wanted to give her a choice. And then
Are you using, is this the standard colors or is this a conversion with the Ukrainian colors?
we're
The
using
regular.
standard
Yeah.
colors.
That's going to
We
be so
have
cute.
one that had the blue and yellow. If you want to, you could switch.
Oh, I think that's cute.
I can show you. So you
I
could,
like
yeah,
this.
you like the green. I know. I think
That's
that's
cute.
So
I have that pattern too.
are you gonna wait and start it after you finish your Christmas pattern?
Are
you gonna become-
get it finished?
Christmas?
A polygamous,
You're gonna be a monogamous?
Monogamous stitcher.
monogamous or a polygamous.
A poly stitcher, which means
I
More
want
than-
to just have this finished so you can put it up.
so you might
before-
start it. So you can put it up, have it finished before summer.
or before like it's not time.
You're so close to that Christmas one being finished though. You could probably
I
just
know, you want to get that done. Who am I to say? Who am I to tell her to finish something
be
before
like,
she
don't be
starts?
like mom and me.
You need to finish that project. You cannot have 2 things going at one time. Do you know when I started watching Carolyn Zook, she only was stitching on one thing at a time?
I kind of remember that. No, she stitches on a million.
This one, this.
May 1st.
Yeah,
All right.
Wait, where's
Jan
this-
Hicks enabled her.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye. I love you. Good job.
Well, next thing on my list is whips. Who wants to go?
Do you have a previous finish sitting over there?
Oh, I do actually. Oh yeah, you want me to show this little previous finish? I forgot that she was. This is my previous
cute.
finish, and I think I might have showed this a long time ago on another episode.
I
but
stitched it for you.
Yes, you did. I did not stitch this. And do you want to see the beautiful framing job?
Nothing but the best for my girl.
We've got the pins in the
I
foam
was-
core
That was my choice.
with the
Huh?
back. I don't know what's going on, why the back's so dirty.
That's on you. That's after you got it.
I maybe had it like up in the kitchen or something. I don't know.
I think I stitched that for you when you were in college.
You did? Yeah.
I sent it to you in a care package.
Yep, I remember that. I think I lived in a dorm. So you probably were in a hurry to just get it in the mail. Quick, shove it
Probably
in there.
was.
I
I
should
sent you some elaborate care packages, by the way. I don't think your brothers ever got the care packages like I sent you.
Would my brothers have cared about the care packages like you sent me there?
No, they would just call me and say, hey, it's dead week. We're studying for finals. Can you send us a pizza from the pizza place down the street? Yeah, I can do that.
Care package communicated. No, you sent me lots of little doodads that you would pick up at like Joanne and yeah, all kinds of stuff. And
They wouldn't have wanted
cross
those.
stitch projects.
I know. I remember stitching that for you. I'm pretty sure it was a leisure arts pattern.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think
I
about
think it was out of a magazine. I got rid of all
It
those
looks like a
magazines.
leisure arts magazine
Mhm.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Lindy Stitch's TikTok videos on the old cross stitch magazines that she's doing reviews on?
No, I haven't.
They're very funny. She's
Okay,
so
I don't-
dry and like
I don't do TikTok, but I downloaded it again just so I could keep up with her TikTok because her dry, sarcastic wit on those old magazines that I remember, like she'll pull up a cover because somebody gave her a bunch of these. Somebody's grandma or somebody gave her a bunch of these magazines. And I remember those covers. Like I remember that magazine.
Yeah.
But
she'll be like, get ready for the best magazine ever. And she'll just have this very flat
oh look,
thing. It's so
burps and bibs.
oh, good.
People had time to cross stitch on things that people were going to get dirty.
My
a
family
blanket.
would ruin this with their feet.
Yeah, why would I cross stitch on this blanket? My kids will put their feet on it.
Yeah.
Your stitches looked real good. This is
Yeah.
a pretty small count too.
I know. It was back when I had eyes.
I know, they look really good.
Oh,
Mm.
So there's my previous, I thought I'd just show it before I put away my Easter decorations.
your Valentine's decoration.
I
Are
know.
you sure I sent that to you for Valentine's Day?
Oh, I always think of it as Easter because it's a bunny. I always put it out at Easter.
But it's got the little hearts.
Valentine's Day friends. I'll put it with my Valentine's decoration.
I probably sent you a little
Yeah.
Valentine. Yeah, I probably gave you a little Valentine care package.
That makes sense. Yeah, it has a little hearts. Cute.
I'm expecting my kids to all start sending me care packages soon now. Send packages.
You can just move in. We'll just remodel that tiny little house. You guys can move in there. That'll be my care package to you.
Oh, Dad was looking at prices on homes again, places. He's like, ugh, we got to do something fast because prices are just going up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the market's crazy.
It's really crazy. Yeah. Okay, but I have to tell you, our pastor today, I love him. Our pastor's great. And he's doing a series on Jonah and the whale and how Jonah, basically being sent to where he was being sent. It was like the worst of the worst. And he said, and he was talking about how people, because we live so Tina, we live in King County, I do. And King County is the biggest, it's the most populated county in the state. And so it carries all the votes. So anything that gets voted on is mandated basically by where I live. Like Sarah's part of the state gets no representation hardly because there's just not enough population. So, and Seattle is not known as being a really nice place right now. And the homeless problem is huge and taxes are huge and crime is bad. And so, there's a lot of people in my age group that I know that are retiring out of here. And part of it's expense. Can't afford the taxes on this house on a retirement income. But part of it is, I want out of here. But he was trying to say things like, really King County is kind of like the Nineveh of the olden time, Bible times. And,
I don't think anybody's doing child sacrifice in Seattle, though.
If we all, but I mean, just the morality, the decline in morals.
Okay.
Because people are just tired of King County, and there's a real attitude about being sick of King County, and the city council is crazy, and they and Seattle keeps reelecting the same crazy members. And so anyway, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I am not staying here in crazy town. Okay. I'm just not staying here. But there's a lot of people. And right before service started, we ran into the Mansos, an old friend couple of ours that are getting ready to retire too. And she's like, yeah, we really want to get out of here too. We're really looking at maybe Idaho. And then, but she's like, I got a friend here that says, why would you leave? We need to stay here and fight. And I'm like, Diane, we don't need to stay here and fight. We're 60 something years old. We're done fighting. We did our fighting. And then she sat through that sermon. I'm like, okay, Diane's probably sitting there thinking, we can't move out of here. I'm going.
Stuck here for life. Seattle.
But yeah, prices are just getting crazy, crazy high. But we might be living with you someday in the pasture.
Yeah.
With the cow.
One day.
Yeah. Are your boys living on your property? Are you in a cul-de-sac? Because didn't both your boys buy homes next to you?
Well, one is right next door and the other one bought a house further down the street.
Okay.
It's the regular street and avenue.
Oh,
place.
it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were kind of on a big piece of property and you
No.
subdivided or something. Okay.
No.
That's cool to be so
Yeah,
cool.
it is until they need something done.
Yeah. I was like, maybe it's not cool actually.
But actually, my son next door works with me at the pharmacy, so he just
Oh.
walks over. We actually cut a hole through the fence. We have a little path.
I
So he
love
walks
that.
over.
I love that.
And then you just drive together into.
And
Oh, that's cute.
yeah.
Really fun. I love it.
So he's still not. So he's living in it. He's living in a
Yes.
house, but still
Yes.
cooking.
The
in your
youngest one
house?
is living in his house next door. The oldest one is living in my craft room upstairs.
Oh,
He's still in
still.
the craft room.
Still, because of the snow.
Okay,
That's
what's
right.
the snow doing that's keeping him from moving out?
It's cold and he has no heat.
Oh, he has no heat at the new place yet? Oh, okay.
Are you ordering? Was he ordering something that's been delayed for heating? I think
It
you
was
have to-
delayed. We ordered it in, I think, September, and it didn't come in until January,
Huh. Mm.
something like that. And then he didn't have the flooring and the walls need to be changed out because it has to be on
Sure.
fireproof padding and all this.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
It's like a
yeah.
multi which is really hard right now. I feel like COVID has definitely impacted those kinds of projects.
Yeah, and because it's, minus 40 in January, is where can't heat the place to do the work.
To get the work comfortable enough.
Then we need to put a chimney in, and that was another thing to order that took another month to come in.
So did this house not have heating before he bought it?
It did, but he bought it for such a cheap price. It was as is, and the furnace was basically from the 70s.
Oh.
And it's not one that is easily replaced because he bought a modular home from the 70s.
Oh.
And so the trailer just fit in this little 2x2 enclosure, or the furnace in this 2x2 enclosure. And it was like, the guy came in because it wasn't working. It was working when he bought it, and then it stopped. And then the furnace guy came in and he said, it's just too much work. And then you have to get it certified and all this stuff because it's an oil run thing. And it was like, no, just forget it.
Yeah. At that point, it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
So he's still living with you.
Yeah.
Rather than down the street, he's in your house.
Yeah.
I've had so many kids move in and out of this house. I feel you.
Yeah.
Mom, look what's behind her. Look what project is behind her.
Sunflower Fairy, I know.
Yeah, gotta do that one.
She came up again on my Whipco.
Oh, good.
Oh.
So I'll work on her again this month. What came up from my Whipco? That one and my hawk run. Well, we can talk about it later. But yeah, I saw that sitting behind her last time. But you've got a new display behind you on your other side with your little pillows, because you used to have a big basket or a vase or something there. Or
a flower pot. Yeah. Yeah. Those are some of my Biscornus and little smalls from previous exchanges.
Fun.
Really cute.
So fun.
Really cute.
Well, one of you go first with your whips. I don't care who.
I can go. I don't have that many.
Okay. You go then, Tina, and then I'll go.
I worked a lot on this.
Your secret
Can't see
run?
Yeah. I got to get the lead out because of this trip that we're taking.
Mm-hmm.
When do we have to mail these out by? What did we say?
I think it's mid-June. Something like that.
I really love it though. I kind of
I
want to
need to get going. I need to pick up the pace on mine.
Whoever you are is going to really like it. I worked several hours. I got one good section done that I was really hoping to get done. The other thing, because last week when I talked about my magazine monthly challenges for April, I thought I only had one more flower to go on this silly little pillow.
Your bloom one?
Yes. I thought I only had that flower to go, but I had this one and this one and the word bloom. So I started this in January 2021 and I am still working on it because it's such a huge piece.
Millie, don't be like Mimi.
Don't be like Mimi. There I am. So last night I did all of that and I started the little brown flower, and this color is really blowing out. This green is more of a, there we go. That's a little more true.
Mm-hmm.
But
so cute.
It is cute, and it'd be a really cute little pillow. I don't have any spring pillows, little minis. But yeah, I thought, I'll stay up and I'll knock that other one out. Well, the other flower, the last flower over here is bigger. And I thought, I need to go to bed. I haven't been feeling very good all week. Today, I feel the best I've felt probably since Easter. So I think I've had a bug. I thought maybe I had COVID again. Monday, I really didn't feel good, or Tuesday, one of those days. And I thought, I have all these, we're getting free COVID tests every time you turn around over here where I live. And so I thought, I'm going to use some of these. And so I did a COVID test that day. It came back negative. I thought, okay. Then they tell you should take it again. You should do another one in like 2 or 3 days. And you're still having symptoms. So I still was kind of having symptoms. And I took one. Well, I took one yesterday because I really didn't feel good yesterday, kind of off and on. And I thought, we were going out to dinner with our friends. I thought I really need to be responsible and not go out to dinner if I've got COVID. So I took another test yesterday morning and it was clearly negative. Like I the test, you stick it in your nose for like 15, how'd they say, 15 seconds. You're swirling it around both nostrils. And then you put it on the test strip and you're supposed to wait like 15 minutes. And I waited like 18 minutes and there was no line. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm thinking of something I saw on the internet this week. Sorry.
This is not funny.
It was about a COVID test doing the swab. It's like an ad for a COVID test, and it's a woman and she's doing the nasal swab, but she has like the most like peaceful, joyful on her face. And the meme was like, as if you were the photography director, like maybe this time without looking quite so blissful. We're all just like,
No, I'm not
We're
blissful.
like,
I was determined, man, to get a good sample. Anyway,
so that's why I was.
yeah, I just hadn't felt very good part of the week.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, but I'm negative and I felt better today. The other thing I did work on was I did get my I was going to work on this last night too when I got that flower done. Starting at 10 o'clock last night. Didn't happen, but I got April done.
Oh, yay.
I just need to do the little words here.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
those
then-
boots are so cute.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah, those are cute.
And I did
Yeah.
this in the called for colors and I'm happier than I thought I was going to be. You know, I
like
tried to change the colors up with March and they're okay. They're okay. But I don't want to, I'm not as in love with this pattern as I was when I started it. And when I picked it, I didn't see anything else I wanted another monthly piece like I did Joyful
Yeah.
World. I have several now that I've found since then that I wished I'd
Mhm.
known. And there's one that I do have earmarked for next year, but I hope to stick with this one because I'm
You should.
happier with it each month that I get done with this square than when I first look at the picture.
Yeah.
And May is really cute. It's just got some like topiaries and a flower and they're not hard squares. They're pretty fast once I get going on them.
Yeah.
They're not very big. So that did get some love. And then I feel like the only other thing I worked on was I did get my hoity-toity out because that was my designer focus for the month.
Yes.
In case you don't know, this is hoity-toity.
Yeah.
Our long dog samplers. I am working up in this area. I basically did this bird and I
Uh-huh.
worked on this border.
I like this. I like this pattern a
It's
lot.
pretty tiny. So
I'm kind of tempted to someday do a long dog.
are you? Yeah.
I'm not quite ready.
So I did the bird and I did
Yeah, that's
that. Yeah. And I'm doing this 1/1 on I think it's a 25 count. So it's kind of the same size as what my
your hate's gonna be
Yeah.
forever project's going to be.
your lifetime.
I didn't, well, when I got that pattern in the mail today, the other day, I thought, this pattern is not, it's a lot, but it felt doable. Like if you just follow each square and just
a little
do
bit
it.
at a time.
Yeah, if you look at the bigger picture, it's overwhelming. But if you look at it, and I think that's all. I don't think I worked on. Let me double check my planner. I think I just spent a lot more time on that small exchange than I thought I did.
Uh-huh.
I think happened. But let me just double check. April. Yeah. Oh. What was last week? The 18th? No, the 25th.
24th, 25th.
Yeah, I didn't write down anything. Great planner, Kim. You wrote nothing down in it. Okay, that's it. That's all I worked on.
Well, cute stuff. I love that April square. I think it's the cutest one yet on your
Stocking with umbrellas and boots.
Yeah, I think the colors are really cute in it. I like that gold.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
it.
that would be more like May square here.
Yeah, yeah. Here too.
You need the snowman in.
Mitts and scarves for April.
Snowman with a carrot. That's for April.
A little daffodil in his hand.
From the store. From the hothouse. No, we have nothing blooming in our yard right now at all. I was looking and I thought there's nothing pretty right now. Well, a couple of our fruit trees are blooming and
My
that's it.
tulips bloomed finally.
My
My
daffodils.
tulips are about that far out of the ground now.
Really?
They're coming. It's coming.
My lilacs have not bloomed yet, but I know other people, like my dad lives like 45 minutes north of me. His lilac trees are just all in blossom. Mine are like, no. not
Mine
yet.
aren't yet either.
Hmm.
They will though.
So you don't even have daffodils yet then?
Me?
No,
Oh, you. Yeah, Tina.
no, mine are still under the snow.
No.
They can't quite get their way up.
No,
What is
I'll
this
let you know in a
nonsense?
couple of weeks.
What's happened with those? Oh,
Oh, gosh.
late.
Oh, I'm sorry.
winter.
I'm sorry for you.
Tina, I want to
Yeah.
know what you've been working on. I'm behind on watching Flosstube.
I know.
So I haven't even been able to catch up with you.
Well, I did miss last week. I didn't do anything, no filming last week because
Seeing that.
my sister showed up. So we ended up spending time with her. So, but so I do have a little bit to show, but a couple of them are big projects that I did quite a bit on. This first one is Alice, the Owl Forest embroidery,
Oh,
Alice in Wonderland SAL.
that is so pretty.
So
You know-
I finished this part last time, well, this past week, and
Mhm.
I'm back up here doing, there's a table with the tea party at it, and there's some flower motifs across the top.
I love those
So it's
blue
coming.
flowers. They look like the little forget-me-nots out in my yard right now.
Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, the more you work on that and show it, the more I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I looked at the pattern and I thought, oh, that's cute. But it's one of those ones that then you see it being worked on and it's like, oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, I'm doing it with my own conversion of Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts that I had in my stash,
Hmm.
and then had to go buy more because it eats up a lot of floss.
Are you
It's-
the one that also has Queen of Hearts by them?
I do,
I
yes.
think it was because of you. I went and looked at that and I thought, oh,
Yeah.
I really like that one.
I don't have it started yet,
Yeah.
but this is stitched 2/2 on 32 count raw Belfast linen,
Hmm.
and I thought I had enough when I started, but I had to buy a lot more,
Really?
especially the red and the
Huh.
green.
There's a lot of red in that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking up a picture of it. I'm trying to remember what it looks like. I'm gonna.
Was it a mystery where they were releasing parts of that every week?
Yeah.
They're done with that now? Is it all
They're
released?
done with that, yeah. There was, I think, 19 parts released.
Wow.
That's a lot. And just
Mhm.
so pretty.
Every
Mm.
2 weeks, and if I had stuck with it, I would have been able to keep up. I did keep up till about 9 or 10, and then I fell behind
Mm.
because I was starting to run out of floss.
That would put a damper on things.
Yeah,
And you have to order everything, right? I mean, you can't just go
Yeah.
to the store and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to order it all.
That Cheshire
Um,
cat is so cute.
He's in there a couple of times.
Is he?
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like him.
I kind of just want to stitch him.
I know.
No, it's all cute.
Well, you can get the pattern's still available, and you
It
can
is still.
just do that part.
There he is again.
Yeah.
Actually, I just kind of like the whole pattern.
Yeah, I do too. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Do they
And
have
some
a new
people
one?
changed some bits of it, but then when I look at the book, it's like, that's, true. What they did was true to the book. So the only thing that I was changing is down in the bottom corner where you see the two handing a letter, the invitation to each other.
Mhm.
They're supposed to be fish footmen, not
Oh,
lizard.
Oh, so they
So
did.
I've delayed doing that part because I seen somebody else do fish, and I want to do that too.
Oh, didn't you have another motif in there that you were stitching and you weren't sure what it even was previously? Or was that something different?
Hmm.
Like you weren't even sure what it was that you were stitching.
I think it was that part where I thought they were doing a sword fight or something, and it was
Okay.
weird.
That-
And so then I read the
does
book,
almost
and it's,
look like Lansing.
yeah,
I can't remember
like-
what that part in the book is.
it's
Been so
when
long.
Yeah.
the fish footman, one comes to the Duchess's house and hands them an invitation to some
Oh
croquet
yeah,
party or something like that.
that's right. So
Yeah.
in the book it's fish.
Okay.
They're
I
really
wonder if they have a different version over there in, where are they located? L4's
That's my Russia.
yeah.
Russia.
from Russia.
Okay.
That's a really cute piece.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
So I've also been stitching on my secret piece. So I won't be showing that. But I also picked up my, because I finished my secret piece.
Oh
So I
wow.
switched back to my other lunchtime project, which is this scissor fob by Shepherd's Bush.
Uh-huh.
That's the one I made you,
That's
Sarah?
the one you made me, I think.
Yeah, I did that
Yes,
kit for
it
Sarah.
is. I have that. Oh,
That's how far I got.
scissors broke off of it, so I just have a fob with no scissors attached now. I need to I need to do some kind of thread.
Uh-huh.
Eventually the threads. I
Is
think
that
you
your-
told me that a long time
Is
ago.
that your lunchtime stitching?
Yeah.
My scissors I'll keep like a shepherd his sheep is the other part of it, right? Is that the
Yeah.
same? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I love that.
Oh, I did that a long time ago. I went through a phase where I only stitched shepherd's bush.
Mhm.
Towards the end of my first half of my stitching life, I was only basically doing shepherd's bush, and partly because I didn't know there was all these websites I could go to, and I knew shepherd's bush had a website and I liked their stuff, so I was just always adding kits to that on my wish list. I still have several kits that I've gotten over the years that I haven't stitched yet. So
Yeah.
Dad's
I've
taking
only-
me there, by the way, on our trip.
Shepherd's bush. Oh,
Yeah.
I've been there. It's really fun. Have you
I've
ever
only
been?
recently started doing Shepherd's Bush.
Mhm.
I think I've done a needle roll
Mhm.
about 10, 15 years ago. I've done that, but I haven't done anything since. And then these kits started showing up on Stash Unloading. So I
Yeah.
grabbed them for, $5 each or whatever, fully kitted. Like,
Wow.
okay, that's a
The,
easy
the other
project.
one you're doing, the sunflower one, the long skinny sunflower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I have that one in my dining room already done. I did that one years ago too. I loved it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the same bag. I can show it.
Yeah, I loved that one. I did several of
I
those
haven't
dolls.
worked on it since.
Their store is super fun. They have so much on the walls over the years stitched. Oh yeah, I remember that one, Mom.
And I remember stitching those little cherries.
Mm.
In fact, I think I started that kit when we went to the ocean. My husband took me away to the ocean when the kids were little and they were all at my friend's house. And we got the call while we were there that all the kids, because we were friends, there was a bunch of us that were all homeschooling and raising our kids, and they'd all been together at some event. And we found out that all of our kids had been exposed to whooping cough.
That's right.
Oh.
And they were all sick at my friend's house. So she was
I don't
like,
think
I
any
don't
of us
know.
had whooping cough though.
Huh?
None of us had whooping cough though.
You never did get it, but you'd been it was like a new thing that was coming back out. Like nobody got whooping cough for decades. And all of a sudden we had
Outbreak.
an outbreak of it, which we also have an outbreak of TB going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I remember starting that project because
Get vaccinated. Vaccinate your children.
I know. Anyway, yeah, Shepherd's Bush is near and dear to my heart because I do like their stuff. Although some of those specialty stitches and some of those band samplers,
They're not your favorite.
they were a challenge for me.
Well, and you were probably doing it without the internet. Like now you can just Google and
I need
have
to
YouTube
watch.
videos.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
watch somebody do some of those, and just looking at a diagram and you've got all those holes and you're trying to do a Smyrna across and you're like, what? So
Yeah. The internet is a big help. YouTube tutorials. There's so many of them.
and knitting. I cannot tell you how many knitting tutorials I have watched, more so than cross stitching over the years for different knitting techniques and stuff. Tons and tons of them. I didn't have, my best knitting friend moved away and she was the one that could always figure things out. Sarah moved away. She usually figured things out. So I was on my own.
with
Everybody
your
left.
internet.
But
Yeah, I thought you were a very prolific knitter, so I was surprised.
I do, but there were some things I've done in the past that were pretty challenging. It would be the equivalent of you doing like your Victorian motto, not Victorian samplers, you know, with all those specialty stitches, kind of complicated. I've done some knitting things that have very complicated lace techniques in them. I
Right.
don't do those as often anymore because it takes a lot of concentration. And usually knitting for me is when I just need something mindless. So yeah, but in the beginning, we were just kind of self-taught.
Well, and you learned to knit as an adult, like later when I was an
Yeah.
adult.
I learned because Sarah signed me up for some knitting lessons at a yarn store here for as a Mother's Day gift one year. Because I had talked about
Probably when
how
Liddy
to-
was a baby or born.
you were pregnant with her. It was like
Oh.
May. I had talked about wanting to maybe learn how to knit because Sarah was knitting and my good friend Donna was knitting with her. We all worked together at the same place. And I was realizing there were some beautiful yarns out there. It wasn't just all Joanne fabric yarns. And so she gave me those lessons. And then I just kind of thought, well, I could do this. And I got a little dishcloth booklet and was trying to learn different stitches that way. And then I'd make a mistake and drive down to Sarah's house at 10 at night so she could unpick it for me because I didn't know how to unpick my knitting. So, I mean, it was a long process to get there. But then I started making stuff for the girls. I made little sweaters and
Some complicated things.
I think once you know the basics, you can do it, especially
Yeah.
with the internet.
Yeah. Well, and that's what my mom learned how to knit when she was an adult because my brother was taking knitting in school.
Really?
And so he would come to her with a question. So she went to my grandma and said, you got to teach me how to knit. So she learned how to knit, but it was tough for her because she's left-handed. So she learned how to knit right-handed, and then she just kept it up. And so I was asking her, you're going to have to show me how to change colors when knitting because I got this pattern. And she's like, just look it up on the internet.
I don't know. You just do it.
She's like, I don't have the time for this.
Just look it up.
That part of my life is over, Tina. You've got Google now.
Yeah.
Google and YouTube.
Yeah.
Replacing moms and grandmas since 2001.
Oh my gosh. Did your brother knit very long?
Sorry?
Did your brother knit very long?
No,
I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen him knit. It was just one of those 2-week things that they did at the school and did their project and done.
cross that off my list of things I never want to do again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So my next project is my Chatelaine.
That's so huge.
There's so many of those. I mean, I don't think I know anybody that's doing a duplicate. Everybody I know that's doing a Chatelaine is a totally different Chatelaine from each
Yeah.
other.
So many choices.
Mhm.
And I worked on this one probably about 10 evenings.
Do you have that in a Q-snap?
I'm not doing any beads until the end,
Yeah.
which I might regret, but
I am, but you know, I saw somebody talking about that too. I think it was Carolyn because she started her Chatelaine for her birthday, I think. And she's not going to put beads on because I think once
At
you start
all?
rolling it, not until the end, because
Until
when you
the-
start putting the Q snaps over it and stuff,
You can't.
you're looking at,
Roll
you're
it.
crushing the beads.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
You can if you're using a like a scroll frame
block.
and then you put padding on it.
Oh.
But the problem with beading when you're going is then your thread gets snagged on all these beads that
Mhm.
are popped up all over the place.
Yeah, that.
How long have you been, when did you start this one?
It's one of my older ones. This one is from 2018.
Okay, it's not terribly old.
Okay, I have a question about your Q-snap. When do
Okay.
you put it so that the excess fabric rolls to the front then? Or does it just look like that because you have one of those grime guards? When I put mine on, I'm new to Q-snaps. I only have one and I only have done it. So I put it on so that the frame, the fabric that I'm working on is not down.
There's
in
my frame.
Oh. You do it the
And-
opposite way.
I
From
just
what I
have it all rolled up and tucked in the
So I
grinder.
put my Q-snap on the opposite way, and I'm
I,
wondering.
s- I stitch in the ditch. And what that means is that the frame itself is on the top
Uh-huh.
and it's flat on the back.
It's like if she had a hoop, she would do her hoop backwards of how we do. You and I have done it.
Okay, so
And the
tell
reason,
me why you do that.
2 reasons. One of them is if I'm over here and I want to end my thread,
Uh-huh.
ending a thread with all,
Uh-huh.
when you have it the other way,
Uh-huh.
it's very difficult to pull the needle all the way through.
Yep.
And the other reason is handling this. I mean, it has a grime guard on it and it's all folded up. So
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be touching all parts of it anyways because it's sticking out. But when it's in the ditch, you're touching the back part of the fabric instead of the top part.
What do you mean by stitching in the ditch? I only know what that means
She's
for.
got it so that
This is in the well or in the ditch. So it's this part,
Inside
the top part of the
Yeah.
fabric is at the bottom
Bottom
of the
of-
frame.
think about if you
That's
put
what-
your fabric in a hoop, but then turned your hoop over, it's
So that's what
deeper.
you mean when you say you stitch in the ditch, and the reasons why you do that are what you just explained. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I
Yeah.
thought
Okay,
maybe there was
so-
some stitching technique. I didn't know what stitch in the ditch meant. Okay.
I bought some of those magnets for
These?
one of my pieces. Yeah, it's great, except for I use a magnet board, my pattern. So I'd be working on my piece and I would go to look at my, I'd have my piece here with my magnets on it. And then I have my board and I'd go like this to look where I was. And then I'd pull it off and I was constantly pulling those magnets off.
Yeah. They're
Okay.
really handy also for holding your needles.
Mhm.
And
I
I
need
have
to
a
get
needle
some of
minder
those.
here. And my husband showed up and I'm like, I got 2 needles over here and a needle over here. He's like, you got nothing on your needle minder?
Don't need those anymore. I've got these magnets.
They're strong magnets.
They are.
Mhm.
You have to get the right brand because the first time I ordered them, I got a really bad brand and they were falling apart and not even,
Where do you order yours?
These are the ones
Okay.
I bought.
Okay.
yeah, that's the
Smart and
ones there. They
cool.
say smart and cool and they say that actually on the silicone on the magnet too, but
Okay.
they're really strong.
And they're basically called silicone ties.
I don't have any grime guards. I want to get one for, and I think I might try another Q-snap for my Cade. Because I think then if I have a grime guard, I can kind of keep all that, like just exactly like that, but magnets too. I'm trying to figure out how I want to organize my stitching for
Mhm.
that. I just kind of started and decided I'd
Yeah.
figure it out. But I think I'm going to switch my Snow Queen to being in the ditch like that for, yeah, I like that because it is
Yeah.
hard to end it on the back.
So what I stitched was this black here,
Mm.
this outline here, and this. And I did a little bit more filling in this bit and started on that over one
Wow. What is this one called again?
Royal Tudor mandala.
Wow. I always love the pictures of the patterns, but seeing them actually stitched, the
Mhm.
colors, the detail, I mean, it's just so different. They're so vibrant and
Yeah.
Boy, if you get off on one little part though, man, you're screwed.
Yeah.
it's
That's how I look at them. How doable is this?
And because it's symmetrical, you have to be right.
You have to
You
be
can't
right.
fudge it.
Nope. Nope.
And I did make a mistake a while ago on one of the colors in this. This is a garden, and I made a mistake in one of the colors. And I didn't realize it until I was over here and starting this one. It was like, it doesn't look the same. So I had to frog this after it was all finished.
No.
I had to frog that color out.
But it was not a counting error. It was just a color error.
It
which
was
is
a color error.
definitely
Yeah.
better, in my opinion, if you're going to
Yeah.
taking all those other squares off of it. Ugh.
Well, yeah, because
Because that's what I would do. I would probably be off one stitch, one row, and then I'd do like, I don't make those kinds of mistakes as often anymore because I'm very careful now. when I'm
pretty
going-
vigilant,
I check and check and check because I hate,
especially when you know that something is that you cannot fudge on.
yeah. That
Yeah,
is beautiful, Tina. Really beautiful.
it is beautiful.
This is the other big project that I worked on.
This is insane.
Yes.
Hatter by Gecko Rouge.
Oh my gosh.
Where's he gonna hang when you
Because-
get him done?
I don't know. He might just be in the bin of shame.
I was gonna say, is he just gonna live in the shame bin?
Get out of the bed.
But
Not
I
sure I'd
figured
want him
I need to get my full coverage multicolor project out of the way before well, it's not going to be before I start a stitching shelf, but I need to make good progress on it.
On this one,
Yeah.
you got till August.
Well, I did get a page finish,
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
and
Wow.
here's where it's at.
It
I
Are
really
these
worked
the
over
bobbin
here.
things?
Yeah.
These are the silicone
Oh.
bobbies.
Yeah. Okay. And they just hang
Yeah.
there, just hanging out.
Yeah,
I
just
still
like
feel
that.
they look
What are
like
they
that.
called? Just silicone bobbins? Is all they're called? Silicone bobbins?
it's called a bobbies, Bobbeez. They're actually designed for a special kind of braiding where they actually do some kind of braiding down through the middle.
In
and the-
hair,
and the
like
rest of
hair
it.
braiding?
No, like bracelet
like-
making, jewelry
oh,
making,
Oh, okay.
rope making.
Is
It's a
Okay.
Japanese thing.
Is that the only project you got those hanging off of? Because I don't think I've ever noticed those before on your projects.
I did have them on Beloved, but then I
Uh-huh.
took them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So big. So
So this here is where I was focused on, and that there is a page.
That's crazy.
And that's
yeah, you
about,
have a lot to do before August.
I know.
You need to qualify what's good progress. 'Cause that could be it.
That's
So yeah, the rest of it was like this,
uh-huh.
like confetti. So I just filled it in
Uh-huh.
all the way to the top till all those stitches were done.
Wow.
And this is one that I had been using paper copy, and it was large print. And I was highlighting and parking, and there's so much confetti that I was like, if it's available as a PDF, I'm going to put it into Pattern Keeper.
Mhm.
And I looked at Gecko Rouge, and it was available as a backup PDF.
Hmm.
And so I told them I had the pattern, the kit as a present,
Mhm.
and I wanted to get the backup. And so I mean, it was an additional $6 charge, but it was worth $25, $30 to me. I would have paid for the pattern again.
I do have a tablet actually that probably would be fine for Pattern Keeper. It's just a matter of learning the tech part of it.
It's not that hard.
Tina, I'm old.
Okay,
Very
and the
old.
last one. I
Wow,
move everything.
that is a big piece.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Beloved.
Here it comes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you've scrolled it up. You don't even see her face anymore.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Working
That's
over
the
here
bottom,
on the
right?
weekends.
Yeah.
Yep, this is the bottom edge.
We're so close.
And then over here during my mornings before work.
Mm.
Jeez, Tina.
So that's the bottom corner there.
You gotta really love a piece to do that much black and gray and white stitching.
Wow.
And that's the other corner.
Wow.
It's so stunning.
And
You
I
are so
had
close.
messed up. Where did I mess up? Over here somewhere?
Look how small your hand looks.
Oh.
Really put it into context for me right now.
Oh my word.
I had messed up over here, and I mean, this is just all fur, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's not like it's a facial feature where I have to frog it to fix it. So I just came at it from both sides
Mhm.
and just fudged it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's ever going to notice.
No.
Yeah, they're not gonna go, look at her. She screwed up that fur over there in that corner.
He was off 3 stitches.
That fur doesn't look
That
right.
color doesn't belong there.
3 out of how many thousands of stitches? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so close, Tina.
Wow.
I
It is.
know. I am
Oh,
a little bit short this week. Like my goal is 1,400 stitches a week,
Mhm.
and I only got 2482 for the 2 weeks. So I'm about 300 stitches short.
Okay. You'll make it up.
Yeah.
wow.
Because my
Still-
guess is when you get down to the bare nitty gritty bottom last bit, you're probably not going to work on anything else but that.
Probably.
Mhm. You're just
I don't know what I'm going to do for my morning stitching anymore, though.
I do. It's called the stitching shelf.
That one is so, see, this one is easy because it's only 27 colors.
Mhm.
That one is 300 and something colors.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend more time looking for the color than stitching.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that is what's going to be so time consuming is just color management. Because if I look at one little square, they're each like on the very back page, even I'm looking at a square and there are so many different colors. And I look at the corresponding part and it's just snow. But there's like, you know, in a 10 by 10 square, there's like 8 different symbols.
Mhm.
So it'll be a lot of. But I did watch
Teresa.
some more of Teresa again. I watched her last video. I don't think I'd watched her last one as of last week when we recorded, and it was super helpful.
Yeah, I've been watching those too. I think I'm on I'm on like maybe the 3rd one.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of trying to watch them a little bit at a time because I'm finding them
Yeah.
really helpful.
I-
Even though I already have what I'm doing for my Haid kind of set in my
Like
mind.
that little cheerleader in the background. You can do this.
This is easy. Full coverage
Yeah.
is easy.
I really like her floss tubes, and I don't watch her tutorials because I'm already
You
set
already
in
know.
You already
what
know
I'm
what you're
doing.
Yeah.
But
You could do the
she has
tutorial.
really good floss tubes too.
And I'd never even heard of her until I just happened to find her because I was looking at parking. I was trying to find videos on parking because I really wasn't clear. I think I just, which would not have worked. My thought on parking was you just pulled your thread up somewhere and just left it hanging anywhere. Well, then like Sarah said, how are you going to know what color thread that is if you haven't put it in a spot where it's going to show up again? So that
Right.
she was the first person that I really watched that really explained that. So yeah,
That's
so
the video I'm
should
trying
have
to get to so I can have a better idea because I haven't
Yeah.
been doing any real parking yet.
So I'll try to go back and watch some more of her floss tips because I just didn't know about her. And
See, I didn't know about parking. Okay, that's not true. I knew about parking, but not the way that
It's kind of
people do it, right? I just did my own version where,
yeah,
because this is my 5th Heaven and Earth design, and I would just stitch the entire color until I couldn't go any further, and
Mhm.
then park it, which using a paper pattern, I would highlight with say green or purple or
Mhm.
whatever. And then where I pulled it up for my next stitch, I would highlight that with yellow.
you
It was
know.
always
Kinda
yellow.
does. Yeah, she's got a 2-color system going.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I would just go all over the place with it. For the Heaven and Earth ones, I started at the top and worked my way down.
Mhm.
And then on Heaven and Earth, the discussion boards, they were having this contest where if you finish a page using this technique, you get a free pattern. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And I watched, I think it's Carolyn Manning, I want to say, did a tutorial where she showed how to do parking where you do a block at a time. And so that was where I learned how to do parking. And I tried it and I failed. They told me I did it wrong because I would go down so many squares and then I'd be like, I'm bored of this. And I'd go to the top and I'd go down so many. They're like, no, you have to go finish a square and then go to the next square and then keep going across and then come back and go across again. And it was like,
Oh,
fine. So I counted over, and this was on the top page, so I wasn't in the middle of the pattern.
mhm.
I did a page worth of black stitches
Mhm.
across the top so I could get to the next blank page, because the contest was you had to do an entire page. And I did that technique on the next page over, and I was like, I really hope I counted right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't gridded fabric, and it was like, if I got this screwed up, I'm gonna have to budget somewhere, but it was right. So
Oh
Mm.
gosh.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try it like she does it. See if I mean, I would assume, like anything, if you've done 5 heaven and earth designs, people find what works for them, right? I mean,
Mm.
Yeah.
and you kind of get into that habit of doing it a certain way. And
I think it's like there really aren't, it's like with olive cross stitching, there aren't really rules of how you have to do it.
Right.
'Cause who cares? You're just doing it because you love it. It's just a hobby.
Yeah.
And so if some specific technique works really well for you, or you've created your own technique and it works really well for you, great, you win. Like there's no
I
rules.
finished.
I mean, maybe there's rules if you're going to enter it into a fair or contest. They might be looking for certain things, but
Yeah.
even then, who cares? You've created this beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're parking all the way across, aren't you traveling basically? Isn't that almost like I mean, are you pulling that thread all the way across your,
But I assume you're kind of catching it under other stitches if that's what you're doing.
because is that cross country parking then?
So there's my back.
Mm.
So I'll actually unroll it to where I was doing that contest.
Wow, look at that though.
I know.
Wow.
And
Uh
here you can see
huh. I had
it's
it.
Okay,
basically columns just
Uh-huh.
going straight down.
Uh huh. Oh.
Whereas over here, it's like all over the place. So
Yeah.
this is me,
Uh huh.
and this is where
The
they
tail.
had that contest.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. Really interesting how
Huh.
that changes the look of how your back looks.
Wow. Oh man, your back looks pretty amazing to me.
I
So I
know.
wouldn't go very far with the thread.
Yeah. I guess that's my thing. I also, yeah, I don't want to go too far. I don't want long lengths of thread across my back.
Hmm.
So I guess I look at this pattern and I go, okay, go down 2, maybe 3 squares and then park it.
It's just so stunning. Oh my god,
Beautiful.
It really is.
so beautiful.
That's not going to go in the bin of
Fine.
shame, is it?
No, my brother-in-law has offered to make a frame for it
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
because he was here when it was, it's on the stand. It's in the dining room here all the time, and he's like, "When you're done that, I'll send you a frame." I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay, here's what I want."
Have you seen anybody else that stitched this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say a cross stitch too far
Oh,
on Instagram,
okay.
and I think Yanni has started it. I don't know how far she got.
Okay.
Yanni Stitcher and Jurgita from Magic Pond Crafts. She started it, but she started it on 14. I have to get this right. I think she started it on 14 count Ada, and she was doing it 6 strands over 2.
Whoa.
That's how she
I love it.
started it, I think. Or maybe it was 14 count 3 strands over 1. But all I remember is it was going to be huge. It was going to be a tapestry. She
Yeah.
said she had this huge wall between like a chimney and a wall or something, and it was going to be so big.
That's gonna be
Wow.
so much floss.
But- But she ditched that idea and went with the mini.
I was gonna say, so I bought the 25 count, right? And I was talking to Sarah, and I'm like, yeah, because Carolyn's been messing around with what her count's going to be. I thought maybe I should have done like a 20 or 22 count or whatever. And Sarah's like, Mom, you're going to have a bed sheet when you're done. I mean, it's just going to be so big. And I thought, yeah, and I really do want to frame it. I mean, I want it to be a framed piece. So I'm going to stick with the 25. I obviously can do 25 count because
Mhm.
hoity-toity, I'm sure, is 25 count. What's
Right.
Beloved on? 25 count?
25 count, 2 over
not
1,
gridded.
half cross.
But you
But
didn't
not-
use gridded.
I did not grid it. All I gridded the center point and my page break going down. I counted down 300, I don't know what it is, 120 stitches,
Mhm.
did a thread across, and then again, the thread across.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
my first paid that I did,
Mhm.
I didn't do any of that. And I thought, oh, 2 inches from the top, that'll give me lots of room, right?
Mhm.
I stitched and I got to the bottom and there's only about a half an inch at the bottom.
Yikes. That's every stitcher's fear.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was getting near the bottom. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to fit. Like, and it's the way the design is, you can't do the whole, you can't just crop it.
Right.
So I was not happy.
Mhm.
Let me see if I
That-
can find it.
Oh, that would stress me out. I'd be counting rows, man. I'd be counting, because then I would have just quit. I mean, if
But I already had 90% done.
Oh.
I take it it's not framed.
No, it's in the bin of shame.
I can't believe. Oh, well, I expect to see Crystal Christmas, I mean, framed. That's just too pretty to be in a bin under the bed.
I have other Mirabilias in the bin. There's the Wherefore Art Thou, the Circle of Friends.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a few in the
Get that
bin.
brother-in-law busy. He can make some other
Yeah.
frames for you.
We'll see how this first one shows up and
Shows up.
how it turns out.
My husband says, honey, I can make you frames. I just need certain things. And so one of the things he needed were corner
Clamps.
edge clamps thingies.
Right.
I mean, he's got clamps, but these were like for corners. And I bought them for him for Christmas. Here you go. Stocking you up, baby.
It's his retirement project. He can
Yeah.
make and sell frames to cross stitchers custom.
I know. He could get really good. He's good. He could be good. Yeah.
He'd be good at
He'll
it.
YouTube it and figure it out.
Oh man.
Oh, I don't think I knew you had done other Hades. I thought maybe Beloved was your first Hade.
No, I've done Romeo and Juliet, Ophelia,
Mm.
Oh, you have talked about that one though. I guess I forgot.
and stockings. My boys' 2 stockings.
Oh,
Those are both Heaven and Earth. And yeah, this is my 5th one that I can think of off the top of my head.
wow. I did not know that.
And then you'll be doing number 6.
And
Yeah.
number 7.
Oh wait, what's number 6 then? Wait.
So 6 would be a stitching shelf. And
Mhm.
number
what's number
7,
gonna be?
oh, what's it called now?
I knew there was a second one.
I have it in my pattern keeper.
And when are you starting that?
when Beloved is done.
Oh.
Inner Depth. This is the one I had planned to start.
Oh,
Wow.
oh yeah, you did share that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brown.
So that one's not going to be started till Beloved's done, but the Stitching Shelf's just going to start on whenever.
On August 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen said, August 12th, is this some random day you guys just decided to start this huge project? Yeah, some random day, honey.
It is World Cross Stitch Day.
I know.
Well, mark your calendars, friends. It's probably not in one of your pre-printed calendars.
No, it's not.
World Cross Stitch Day doesn't quite make the list.
Okay. There is my finish of Ophelia.
That's your
Oh.
first one that had just half an inch at the, oh yeah, I see that.
That's fabric sewn onto the bottom there.
Uh-huh.
And that's a quarter.
Oh my gosh. That is,
Oh, jeez.
So you see why I couldn't just crop it.
yeah, that would be weird.
No, she's beautiful. I just looked up the Heaven and Earth Romeo and Juliet one. Is that the one where they're embracing and kissing?
On the balcony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're so romantic. All the
Yeah.
ones that you've chosen.
You're not doing Princess Purple Rain then. That's just Candy and
Yeah.
Carolyn.
No, Prince wasn't really my thing.
She's not my
But
thing.
it's a beautiful design, but
It is. And
just
you know,
not me.
he was, you know, his heyday, I feel like the years that he was very, very famous and popular were years that I think I was raising my kids and I'm like, well, that's not really the morals I'm wanting in my house. But after he passed away, we did watch a documentary about him, about his life.
Right.
And he really was a musical genius. I mean, he had so much talent. And so I do have a lot of respect for that, for that. And it is a beautiful, I mean, you got to really like purple to do that piece.
Yeah.
Really like purple.
Yeah.
That's a lot of purple. Okay.
Oh, there's one of the
Oh, yeah.
stockings.
Oh, I've never seen that. Wow. Did you get those done before they actually grew up and moved out of the house?
Well, they grew up.
I forgot. They haven't moved out of the house. Do you keep the stockings at home?
I do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Actually, here's that's the first year that they were finished.
Oh,
Oh gosh. Oh, and they're both big Santas.
Yeah.
Oh.
wow.
Did they see you working on them all those years?
Yeah.
Did you do them in tandem?
I did.
Oh,
And I did them on different size fabrics because I wanted them to be a similar size to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both Heaven and Earth designs, and they're both artwork by Donna Gelsinger. And I thought they should be the same size, but they
Yeah.
weren't. Stitch count was way different.
Huh.
So I adjusted one to be on 28 count,
Oh.
2/2,
Uh-huh.
and the other one is on 18 count, 2/1,
2/1.
so that they'd be the same size.
I love them. Those are the Santas of my childhood. Those are like the quintessential 60s and 70s, I think.
Yeah.
70 Santas. Wow.
amazing.
My kids got stockings that I bought at a craft fair that were just fabric, and they didn't even get those until they were like old. They usually had a gift bag. I failed as a stocking mom.
I don't remember that. I don't remember having a gift bag when
You
I was
know, and the stockings that I remember being really popular were the ones that were in that cross stitch in country, whatever that cross stitch.
Oh, yeah.
magazine.
Better Home and Gardens.
Mhm. Those were the stockings that were really out there. And I'm like, there was no way. Although I did do a pattern out of a pretty full coverage piece out of that, one of those. I did show it. Didn't I show it? The little girl with the tea party. Did I ever find that piece to show?
I don't know if you've ever found that.
I know it's
I
here
don't
somewhere.
know.
I'll have to, when we move and I start going through and kind of repacking stuff, I'll probably find it. I know it's here. I just don't know where it's at. But
Yeah.
it's on a little, you know, it would fit in an 8x10 frame, but it's solid stitching, and it was in one of those magazines, and it's a little chubby little girl with curls, and she's in a playroom, and she's having a little tea party with her little bear and a doll,
Right.
tapestry wallpaper behind her. I worked on that. I don't know. I wonder how long that took me to. I don't know how long that took me to do. I was pretty monogamous back then, though.
Mhm.
So yeah. Well, what do you got, Missy?
Well, I have,
Birthday party planning, mama.
yeah, I feel lucky that I got any stitching done because there's been so much birthday. Berenstein Bears and a little too much birthday, but one more birthday party and then we're done. I did a tiny bit. So I've been working really hard to try and finish off all my magazine monthly goals, none of which are probably actually from a magazine. But okay, I'm using the acrostic as a way to keep myself organized anyway. And so I'm working on this Told in the Garden farmers market. And I'm really just, I actually had to rip out some on that new quilt that I'm starting up there. So that I actually stitched more than it looks like because
You did double them. Stitched it and ripped it.
well, I dyed this, I tea dyed this myself, and the holes are pretty hard to find.
Mm.
And so I realized I had like back up at the top of this quilt before I went around, I had accidentally done just half a stitch rather than.
Hate it when I do that.
Yeah.
Hate it.
It's not that big a deal, but so I did actually finish that magazine monthly goal. And this was, I also have been working on Lindy Stitches. I Forget the Rest. I love this piece so much. I love it. My husband and I have been arguing a lot this week, so I felt a little bit torn working on it.
Not forgetting much right now.
Totally, I love this piece because it makes me think of us. This time I was like, anyway, so I've gotten that one. So I'm working on the bird on the
You got one wing done?
on my right. Yeah, I got like her top. I think of her as the girl.
Her, yeah.
I got like
Right.
this section done, and now I'm outlining her head, the darker part of her head there before her. This is where her eye is going to basically be.
I really love
Right.
that fabric.
I do too. It's the call you gave me it. It's the called for, I think, right?
Yeah. I tried to do all the called fors, except for that was the one that I was having a hard time finding some of the overdyes for because
Yeah.
COVID.
No,
And
but
so
the color you ended up giving me was perfect. That's one of these. I think it's the darker one.
I gave you like what I ended up doing was buying several different like
Yeah.
Acorns and Threads gave me kind of a conversion because I had called them to see if they had any of the called for, and she goes no, and we haven't had it for months, but here's what other people are using, and so I bought several of those and gave them to her so she could figure out which one she wanted to use.
Yeah.
Right.
So you gave me an option of this other one that I didn't use.
It was frustrating though because I wanted it to be
Sandcastle?
maybe
This was, oops, there's two skeins there. This was one of the things, but I ended up going with the one that was a little darker, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. Just a second here. I know, but I can't remember.
I'm gonna have a mower out here in a minute. Hopefully it won't pick up on the
Fool's Gold, and it looks like that.
yeah, that's one you're using, right?
That's the one I am using.
Yeah.
So I think it's turning out really great with that color.
She was like, we were talking on the phone this week and she goes, yeah, I need to work on this and this and the owl. And I'm like, the owl. What are you talking about?
Owls.
Owl.
It's because I chose, I think, O for the
owl.
prompt.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right.
I just need to work on my owl.
I don't know what piece you're talking about.
I have an
I kind of forgot I gave that to you.
Okay, I'm looking for the picture because this is so new.
Can you
can't
hear
tell
that?
it. No?
Okay.
No.
Dad decided it's time to do yard work out my window.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Here's my,
Nice.
Dad didn't understand why you weren't going to start the stitching shelf with me.
well, did you tell him what I'm working on now? I did work on this. I met my whip go goal and it was on my magazine monthly and my whip go. I got a whopping amount done. I mean, that's quite a long time of stitching.
I know, it's so depressing.
I know, but I felt really happy with it. I really am liking doing the half cross. It is fast. I mean, it speeds along,
Yeah.
and I am just kind of doing it. So yeah, I'm still watching Teresa Little Stitcher to see once she gets hers going to see how she does it. But at first I was like, I'm going to do 100 stitches and I'm going to do 100 stitches and then I'm going to do 100. And I'm not doing it that way because that's not how my brain does it. I kind of am looking,
Parking it along.
I'm kind of doing, yeah, if a color shows up here and then in the next square, it's close enough that I don't mind traveling with it along the back, I'm counting. And because my fabric's gridded, it makes it really easy to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and when I started watching,
it will probably evolve as I keep going into what I really like. But
when I started watching her, I only watched those tutorials at first, and I thought she only did full coverages. But then I watched her "I'm Back" video because she took a long break due to family circumstances, and she did kind of a whip parade, and she's got a lot of different things going on.
That's cool. Yeah, I should watch her Flosstubes. I've just been watching her.
She had hip surgery though, last
couple days ago,
2 weeks ago, or something, like last Monday maybe. I think it was going to be on a Monday.
Oh,
yeah.
Seems young to have hip surgery. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact reason for it, but it's something that she'd been.
It wasn't like
having to deal with for a while.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, because she kind of
did something about a year ago that they thought if this might work, but if it doesn't work, we have to do a hip replacement.
Oh. Well, did you see her video where she's talking about she went for her pre-op appointment and she's like, I can do this, I'm going to be asleep. And they're like, no, we're just going to be using basically they did not use I'm sure they gave her like one of those conscious sedation weirdo drugs that they give you now. Why do they
have to have you conscious for a hip replacement?
Probably less risk to those drugs than generals.
Right.
Because when I had my colonoscopy, that's all they gave me too. And I was like, what do you mean you're not knocking me out? Well, I was basically knocked out. It's weird. I don't know what those drugs are called, but they're like psychotic.
They gave me one of those when they were taking me back before they sedated me for my thyroid surgery last year. And I don't think it worked because they told me I wouldn't remember anything basically after being wheeled out of the pre-op room. I remember everything. I remember the whole thing. So I'm like, maybe those don't work on me. I don't know. I'll have to be aware of that in the future.
I don't know, but she was a little nervous because she felt like
stressful.
Well, and I think, your recovery time, waking up and stuff is easier, but I mean, here, I don't know about
it. It's not because of the specifics of the surgery. It was just that's the point. That's just what they
But
do.
up in Canada, like I don't know what you guys do up there, but down here, our friend had a total hip done and they did it through the front of his leg now, which is the new way. He was home the same day.
Yeah.
And I heard that they're sending knees home the same day down here now. And I went through a knee with Carrie and he has to have his other knee done. And I am not bringing him home the same day because it is knees are so bad. They're so swollen and there's so much range of motion you've got to be working on right away or you're going to lose it. And it's stressful. And I am not a nurse. I'm sorry. I'm his wife, but I'm not getting paid to be his nurse. But it's just insane to me that they're just, you're out. Goodbye.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, if we had lived in Thunder Bay, Todd's back surgery, he would have been out the same day.
Really?
Yeah. But because we were from out of town, they wanted him to stay in the hospital overnight.
And do you think, looking at that now, that you would have been happy having to take him home the same day?
Do
you think he was?
I don't know. He's right over there watching me.
Well, okay. So when my husband had his total
about it,
when my husband had his total knee done, he, we got home. He was in the hospital. He had it done on a Friday. We came home Sunday. Okay, and things were moving along pretty good. But he had some complications due to another issue in his calf.
Some other stuff going on.
Yeah, he had some other stuff going on that they hoped the total knee would resolve, and it didn't. So he had to go back in. I think he was at the 4-week recovery mark and have a day like a in and out surgery for a cyst that they thought had burst in his calf. Okay. So he was scheduled for 5 p. His like literally took him back at 5 o'clock for this surgery. And they called me and said, okay, I don't know how long he was back there, maybe an hour. And okay, you can come back now and see him. And they told me they'd make sure he was awake and, you know, and before they sent him home. And I went back there and he had only been really with it for like 15 minutes. And they're shoving drinks at him and cookies at him. And they're like, okay, well, you know, they wanted to go home. It was a day surgery. They wanted out of there. And I'm like, I'm sorry that you started this at 5 o'clock. They literally, because they wanted him out, wheeled him out to the parking garage for me. It was like, okay, we're gonna, and I'm like, I mean, the guy was so gorked out. I was so not happy. I mean, nobody wants to be in the hospital, but sometimes you kind of need that care. And I have to say, he had a surgery on Friday, and it took them most of the day Sunday to get his pain under control. Because the nurse on Friday didn't really have a very good protocol going. And we had a great nurse on Saturday who came in and took charge and said, no, this is what we're going to do, because his block had worn off. It wore off much sooner than they thought it was going to. So I'm like, I don't want to go home and have to do that next day. And back surgery seems pretty invasive.
It was actually not very invasive at all.
Wasn't it? They do it kind of like arthroscopically or something.
They weren't even sure if he had stitches or staples, and it was just like, because they had a bandage over top of it. And the nurse was like, I don't know if I need to give you these staple remover or not, but here you go.
Because you were going to have to remove them?
Yeah. They expected me to remove them after so many days.
No.
But it could be dissolving stitches or it could be staples.
So
And they didn't know when you were going to be facing.
She's feeling his back, and she's like, I don't know, those could be staples. I think
Could you
I've
look?
seen 2.
Could you take a peek?
But they must have been dissolving sutures.
Uh-huh.
So I have this staple remover kit in my drawer now.
In your junk drawer?
For the next time.
Okay.
Well, and I was freaking out just when they would say to me, now, Mrs. Gatz, we need you to be looking at the incision every day to make sure it's not getting infected. And I'm like, it looks terrible. How am I going to know that it's worse? Because it already looks terrible. And I'm like, I am not, no. Now with telehealth, maybe we could have telehealth the visit and put the camera on his leg.
Yeah.
It didn't get infected, but I was really scared that this was all falling on me, and I don't know what
they sent Todd a questionnaire to fill out every day, like, is the surgery site warm or is it red, and is your pain under control, and all this stuff. And it's like, every day
contact your wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
One day I think he answered something weird. He answered something anyways that prompted a phone call.
Really? Well, he could have said, the incision's on my back and I can't see it. It's red. Let me get my nurse over here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry, tandem, but random.
They're just stressful. Yeah. I'm still working on my turkey. I've got an owl and a turkey. This is I started up that part. So I've got his feet done.
Yeah.
We have a leaf, but then I took that same color up and I just went up.
Oh,
right.
Cute.
It is so cute. This is a really fun one to stitch on. I think it has some stitching interest because it's not just full blocks, but it's like a full block.
Right.
And it becomes predictable. You've got the one and the two, you know what you're going to skip. And I think I might have made a little mistake on one of the colors, but I think it won't. I kind of was looking at it and thought, I don't think it's going to.
I don't remember seeing so much of his body done before.
Yeah, maybe I think I did a bunch down in here too. I think I might have done.
I feel like so.
This. I can't remember exactly where it was when I picked it up this week. I just remembered I didn't bring in my Shores of Hawthorne Hollow. That's another thing I worked on, but I made a mistake way back I'm gonna have to tear some out because it's
Sensing a
symmetrical.
theme here with you this week, honey.
Oh gosh, I shouldn't stitch when I'm stressed. That's probably it.
Mhm.
But I also, this is my happy project. Loving this. In fact, I love it so much I made it my magazine monthly goal for May. The theme piece, because it's
That magazine.
it's not a
that
magazine.
piece
I
you're
know.
working
I'm just faking it. I'm just faking it along.
I know.
Yeah,
Luckily, there's no police.
yeah, just do what you like. I'm not entering
Interesting.
prizes or anything. I finished the nest
Ow.
Nice.
and I've got the leaves and the sticks. Is it showing? There we go. Can't see where I'm at.
Yeah, you got it in
Color
there.
is kind of faded. Like it's, I don't have, there, that's a little better. I love it.
Wow.
And
I
that's
love,
that fabric that you got from Estonia or something?
yeah, it's
Lithuania.
from
Lithuania, wasn't it?
Yarn. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of this shop. It's Lithuania. And I can't remember the name of the shop now.
It came
has
really
yarn in
fast.
Huh?
And it came pretty fast.
Yeah, with faster than I feel like sometimes 1, 2, 3 stitch comes.
Mm.
I like
Right.
the colors on this so much. I feel like they really, it's exactly what I wanted. I
Yeah.
wanted it to have, I wanted a color. I didn't want to do white. I wanted some kind of color, but I didn't want to do brown. I felt like the colors might not pop on just a standard brown. And I feel
Springier.
like it is
Springy.
perfect for this. So
I don't understand 1, 2, 3 Stitch, by the way, because I'll go look on their website and I'll be looking at fabric and it'll say out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, right? And then I'll find one that's not out of stock and I place my order and then it's pushed out and pushed out and pushed out because apparently it's not in stock.
Huh.
But yet
I don't know.
I've waited for fabric from them. Sometimes they push it out 3 times because apparently they're waiting for it to come in. And I'm like, well, why isn't it marked out of stock then? Like your
Right.
other ones are.
I don't know, Mom.
I don't know.
It's a mystery we will never solve.
I know.
Well, their website is a lot better than some other websites though, where it's like, we just don't have it, but our website won't show that they don't have it either.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I've got my girl
Oh, cute.
Cute.
and
Wow.
so there's another motif over here that I just started and she's on a swing. I think I didn't want to do the long stitches there for a second.
Mhm.
Maybe I was in the car stitching or something.
You have like 2 more clues to go on that.
No,
One
this
more?
is clue. What is this one?
You're gonna have room.
Yeah, I'll have room. Because some of the clues are like,
Tiny. That's true.
this.
Yeah,
little
they're
bit. So most of
little.
them are not this big motif size. Yeah, I definitely measured my fabric correctly. I've double checked it a couple times.
I wonder if she's the last big motif in that. I'm trying to think of the ones I've
I'm not
seen on.
sure. I can't remember now. It'll be up. So if you haven't started this, if somebody's watching and wants to, the patterns will all be up free on Victoria Sampler's Facebook chat group until the end of May. And then they'll go away. Probably they'll become a paid piece, paid for pattern.
Yeah.
So are you going to do the hardanger bottom on it?
I have never done it, but I think I might. I've been following along. In fact, I kind of wish I had done the ribbon embroidery because when I was looking at their tutorial, I thought, oh, I could have done that. But I didn't have any ribbon that I wanted to. I just did my own thing. But I think I'm going to try it. Yeah.
Should do it.
I'm pushing myself to try all those things. I think I can.
Yeah.
Do it. I have never done any hardanger before. But,
It's not that hard.
well, I mean, I snipped out threads for one of those things.
Right.
There's things on this design that I've never done before. Like, I forget what the name of that stitch is. Nope, this is.
I've done something like that on shepherd's bush where I've had to. No, I haven't actually snipped. I pulled together. I pulled stitches together.
Right.
You know, you
I was
pull a
very
few out.
nervous about this white because
Right.
to do that you have to pull out all the horizontal threads. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, don't miss cut, but I didn't, and I love it, and I was very proud of myself for trying these new hard
Yeah.
things, having them turn out.
Tina's done hardanger.
Yeah, I think Tina might be frozen for a second here. Oh, there she
There
is.
she comes.
There we are.
They're
You're
back.
back. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just one little blip.
I was saying you've done
The
hardanger.
dish was
plenty.
probably moving.
Yeah. You're Starly. But you've done hardanger lots of times because you've done those Victoria Sampler.
Yes, I've done a few. One of the Biscornu's that I did was a Victoria Sampler Biscornu that the top was actually all hardanger, and then you actually sew that onto another square of fabric and then make a biscornu out of that.
So you end up with 3 pieces of fabric.
Yeah.
At the bottom, and then
I was looking at a Christmas
Wow.
one day. I was looking for small projects and I thought, oh, I'll look at this. And it might have been that one actually, because I remember seeing a Christmassy one that was all hardanger on the top. It was beautiful. I think it had poinsettias somehow. Does that ring a bell? Maybe that was
I
somebody
think
else.
I have that one. I think that one is the Noel biscornu, and it is a 15-sided biscornu.
Mm.
But the one that I did was from a booklet that was, it's basically just a bunch of sewing necessities.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
And I think it was originally in blues and pinks, but I changed it to red and green and gold.
oh, that sounds pretty.
Actually, it's my picture. Let me see if I.
No, I brought my Biscornu in here.
So I just finished on that Victoria Sampler. I'm just about to start clue 12.
So that right
Well,
there,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
biscornu I'm
yeah,
talking
no,
about.
that's not the one I saw, but that's gorgeous.
Yes, that is so pretty. I am
Wow.
nervous to do the hardanger, but
Oh,
I think I'm
Tina.
gonna do it.
Well, where did I put it?
There's somebody who's finished. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
Oh,
somebody.
yeah. Here. Oh, that's where the hardanger is.
So
Ooh.
see too, like, I think they've modified it a little because there's actually supposed to be a boy watering. And I actually love that French knot tree. Is it showing up?
Oh yeah.
I might do that instead. And
French
then
knot tree.
see, like, so sorry,
Oh.
writing is tough today.
Oh, there it is.
So that's supposed to be a boy in the pattern, but I'm loving, I'm kind of thinking about doing that. But look, like that's 12, and then 13 is this little row, 14 is this one,
Mhm.
15 must be somewhere because I think the hardanger is 16.
Okay.
That border doesn't come with it though. That's her finishing border, right?
This is just somebody else who did this.
Yeah,
who
but
finished it all.
that blue edging was not part of the pattern.
I don't think so. I don't see that anywhere in the actual pattern. I'm gonna look really quick at what 15 is, but I don't think so.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's just how somebody finished theirs.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tina.
I paused it and now I'm starting the recording again.
I don't know what I did, but there's this weird little ending thing here that doesn't look right.
You get off a stitch again or something? When you
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to count my back stitches when I do another Biscornu someday because that I just had, I don't know what happened.
That's
I
weird.
think I didn't stuff it enough. But hey, it was learning experience. I need to
Yeah.
put that on.
Turned out cute though.
Yeah.
Turned out
I
really-
don't, yeah.
Mine's not stuffed very, very stiff either.
Yeah.
But you can attach like a bead or something to the corners if you want to hide that.
I could, you're right. Yeah, that's a good idea. I could.
You know, or a little cluster of beads.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, that
Make a little tassel-y thing off of it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And it kind of looks that way on other parts, like here and here, where the back stitch kind of travels, right?
Mhm.
Or that border, but it just doesn't, it just came in too far. So that I don't know.
Turn your,
Right.
can you turn it sideways again? Now rotate it.
Did I
See,
miss a
things
corner?
don't seem like they're lining up quite right to me.
I know,
Turn
but
it, keep turning.
Yeah, because
Turn it
the
backwards.
one flower seems to be touching the border and the
Right
other
there.
side is not.
And on the next one too. Something
Right there.
off. Yeah.
I don't have the pattern to see if that's,
So I wonder too, next time, maybe leave a little more border before you do your back stitch row too, so that there's a little more space between your design and the edges. That might help
Right.
too.
I did it the way she, because this one had the border built in.
Uh-huh. The back
But-
stitch border.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's wonky. I'll just give it that much. It's in true form.
It's
It's
supposed to be.
quirky.
Isn't that what this one you mean?
The worky one. Anyway,
I have only one more whip, and this is one that I didn't have with me on my trip last week. So I did quite a bit of work on this before, and I met my 6-hour goal of it for this month. So I finished the bookshelf words.
Which
And
was
those
bugging your
books-
girls.
Yeah, which was bugging them to see it sitting there like the what, Mom? The what? I'm gonna say the bookshelf. Got a couple big books, and then this will be authors' names, and then there's a bunch of motifs. So I
Nice.
just need to go back and fill in the gold. I think when I was stitching this, I just wasn't up for doing that metallic thread that night. We'll just go on to the author names.
You got to be in the right mood for metallic,
I like this one a lot. I think it'll be
just
really
to get it threaded. To be in the right mood, just to
Yeah,
get it
I
done.
think that was it. I think I was just thinking about having to try and see the needle and the thread. And
What kind of metallics are you using?
I'm using, I think the DMC, what is it called? Diamond?
Okay,
Is that what was
that's not as
called
bad
for?
as some.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just really splitty. So I have to really like
Okay,
wrap it because I've been using the whole strand because I want all three, but it
Yeah.
just does that. And so I kind of have to really roll it and get all three into the needle eye, which
Are you the one that's done treasure braid, right, Tina?
Yeah.
Does it fray like that?
not quite. But it does have a frayed end on it because it's braided. So there's like 5 or 6 little pieces sticking off, and it's a pain to thread a needle too. I
Yeah.
use a bigger eye needle for those.
that's what I think I need to find. I need to probably increase my needle selection a little bit because I also felt like my Huck Run Hollow that I just started, I feel like I need a smaller needle, and I need to play around with more needle sizes. I think I just have a few standard.
Well, and that was part of one of those tutorials in Teresa Little Stitcher
Oh,
had.
good. So she'll probably
on,
talk about that.
on needle size versus your whole count, basically. So like
That's probably what I need to
25
about.
count, you should probably, what you say, have a 26 size needle or something. And I just buy whatever's there, and I've never really given much thought. Although I do sometimes look at a piece going, I think my needle's too big for this piece, because you obviously don't want to make your
Well,
hole.
Don't want
bigger.
to stretch it too much.
Yeah.
so those
But
are
I
all my
do-
whips. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I do need to be able to get it threaded though.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
A big enough eye, but a small enough needle.
Yeah.
Fine.
I forgot my knitting whip. I did knit a little bit.
I did too, but I'm not going to bother showing it. 'Cause it's
Well,
not
mine just because I have a new color. So
Oh,
this is the Land of Sweets cowl.
that is
And
so-
I done, I think last time I showed it, I maybe had been doing this.
Mhm.
And so now it went to a
Pearl
stockinette, and this is
rib.
a pearl rib. And so that was one color, and then this is one color,
Mhm.
and I just changed to this bright orange.
Cute. I love that. I like the color scheme on that. I like how
I
bright it
do
is.
like it.
I like that pattern.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is I think I've said it before, this is my second one to knit. No, yeah, my second
Third,
one.
I thought. I thought
Third.
oh, just two. We have the pale pink one.
That's the one I did. I don't think my first one I did that pattern. I think I did
Oh.
pattern.
Okay.
But yeah, I do like it. It's an interesting pattern because there's every band, some are lace, some are stockinette. So it keeps it varied. And her patterns are really cool because she'll say, she has it split up because it's scrappy. So you've got like 25 different colors, or you wouldn't have to do that many. But when you get to certain points, you'll say you're 70% complete or you're 50% complete. So it's kind of a nice motivator. It's designed by Helen Stewart, and it's called the Land of Sweets cowl. And it's fingering weight, and I should have had this done a long time ago, but I didn't work on it, all the time. So,
There's no shoulds.
well, my goal had been to get it done. When I did my first Land of Sweets cowl, I wasn't cross stitching. So every night when I came home and opened that Advent yarn, because you get a little mini ball every day, I would it was 8 rows. Each section is 8 rows. I could do 8 rows in an evening. I can't do 8 rows in an evening anymore because I'm doing other stuff. So yeah, anyway, someday it'll be done.
Does anyone have any haul? I don't.
I do.
I do.
Just gonna stop this for a second.
Take that off.
Sorry, I just wanted to start a new file.
Oh.
So see if it works. I'm in the Black Needle Society box club. I did put it on suspend because budget. And I'm finding that I'm not 100% happy with what I'm getting for my dollar.
Yeah.
So, but I got the this month it was a murder mystery box.
Fun.
So this is what came.
Oh,
So this is the project bag that it came.
Oh, that's so fun.
interesting.
That's good.
And the fabric came in a chain of custody bag.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
And there's a pen.
How many of these have you gotten? About.
I think 4.
Okay. Do they do a monthly?
I think I'm on bi-monthly.
Okay.
And I was showing my sister this and she looked it up and there's you can't even get on the wait list right now. So I'm like, I might keep it and give her one once in a while
Oh, she can
or
buy
let
it.
her take my subscription
Mhm.
because she might be interested in it. She was really interested in this one anyways, but it's mine.
This one you're not willing.
You're like,
Some thread drops.
Cool.
Use your little gray cells, mon ami. Some thread.
ooh, that's pretty.
Oh, that is pretty.
That's from Be Stitch Me. Some fabric cards. So you can write all the details on the back and keep
sure.
it with your fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Those are cute. Is that a wooden spoon? Fun.
And the pattern, which I think I'm going to give it to my sister because I don't know if I'm going to stitch this, but she was really interested in it. So
Possible could not have happened.
the
Oh, that's
impossible could not have happened. Therefore, the impossible must be possible in spite of appearances.
Yeah, I've seen some of those and I've looked at them and I thought, oh, some of the stuff that comes with it's cool, but I haven't always thought the patterns were anything that I really would have stitched.
Thread bling.
Where are they getting all this? Do they source it just from different sites?
I think
Or
they
stuff
source
you
some of it and
specially-
some of it they have made.
Okay.
Like I mean, this is obviously a custom
Yeah.
bag because
Right.
it says Black Needle Society on it.
Yeah.
I think they have a person that makes bags for a company
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because they're all similar in the way that they're made. And then the needle minder is basically the pattern.
Oh, that's cute though.
Yeah. I think I might give it to my sister. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, happy birthday.
And her birthday's this month.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Just tuck all that in a gift bag and
oh, yeah.
And it came with a candle.
Yeah, they add, I mean, what I've seen
Lot of
is there's like a lot of stuff in them.
Sometimes the add-ons though wasn't really worth it. Like this month they added a candle and I can't do scented candles.
Oh, so.
well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's fun that you get this fun little, it's like a care package.
Yeah.
As long as you like the stuff in it, then it's worth it. But it's not even all super stitchy related. Some of it was,
Right.
but like a candle, like Well,
Yeah, the candle, spoon.
which is fun. It is fun.
It is fun, but now what do I do with it?
Well, if you're at my house, I'm trying to downsize and declutter, so that would not probably, unless you have a cute decorating idea with it.
I might
Yeah, you could use it as like you could hang a project on it. Or
use it for a salad scoop one day at dinner.
yeah,
Hi.
that's another option.
Get out of my craft room.
I want my room back. Whatever it takes.
I think I remember watching one of the early ones I watched of you, Tina, which was a while ago. I mean, and he was somebody was I don't know, maybe it was your nephew, maybe somebody was living in
You
that
were having
room,
to clean out,
and they were working nights, and you were like, or so they slept during the day, and you were talking about how you wanted to show something, but you didn't want to have to crawl in on the floor to get in there to get it or something like that.
That's the same son. He's been here since last April. I want to say it's been a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be out in July.
Okay.
kind of like Cassidy, who's probably watching, and Andrew coming in with their RV for a few months and being there.
Can we just park the RV here? This was in March till maybe fall.
May. Oh, fall.
3 years later,
then COVID and
I mean, I have to say it was great during COVID because they were just all here, right? And so we were kind of quarantined together. Nobody was working, so they were here. This is before Junie was born, so it was them, and Sam and Ashley were living in the house with us. And so it was kind of a quarantine. I mean, quarantine was hard because I wanted to go places, but I wasn't lonely, ever lonely, ever. Ever. That, before they lived on our property, my other son, Penny's mom and dad. So when they got married, the summer they got married, my husband remodeled the bathroom that's in this room. That used to be our bedroom, but it's not anymore. But he put a double sink in, he put a whole new shower surround, new flooring, all new cabinets. We had just finished that project before they got married. And I think it was within the first year of that they came to us and said, do you remember how you said that if we ever needed a place to stay, that you would never turn, that we were always, well, I said, well, yeah, we would never want you on the streets. And well, they wanted to consolidate some debt, and she was starting her real estate business. So she had quit a 9-to-5 job, and he was working sales at like T-Mobile or something like that. And they really wanted to stay here, right? Well, and they had a dog, and we had a dog. They didn't get along, but they were in this room, and it was a den. So we had to move everything out of here, and this was their bathroom. And then I was in our guest room cleaning yesterday, and I thought, those kids know what I sacrificed for that whole year they lived here. I was in this dinky little bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's small.
No counter space.
There's no counter space. I gave up my double sinks that I wanted for years. My toiletries and stuff were actually across the hall in the bedroom in a dresser that I would bring like a dorm room. I had them in a little caddy, and I'd bring him into the shower and do my morning routine and go to work. And then they don't know how much I loved them, that I gave that bathroom up for a whole year.
Craft room and bathrooms, deep love for your child.
Yeah.
Well, and when Cassidy and Andrew came back or something, I asked my other daughter-in-law, Kelly, I said, your parents must think we're nuts. And she goes, no, they just think you really, really love your kids. I'm going to help them. Anyway, yeah, it is what it is. And we're not the only people that have had to do it. I mean, life is expensive.
Yeah.
And you want them to
we were a sandwich family there for a while. We had my in-laws living with us and my children.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be something.
Yep.
That would
Once
be-
again, gave up the craft room.
Mhm.
2 years.
First thing to go every time.
I went into the basement.
Oh, you have a basement in that house?
This house has a basement, but it's a very, very cold basement.
I'm
And I told my son, you can go live in the basement. And he's like, no, please.
I might as well live in my house.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's a dry basement at least. I mean, it has drains in the floor just in case, but I mean, we've been here 2 years now and it's not been wet at all.
yeah.
So
That's nice.
There was times that I thought that maybe my dad would have to move in with us, or I mean, when my mom died, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with him, and thought of that was just totally overwhelming, having elderly parents living with me.
mhm.
Brace yourself, Sarah.
I
I
am.
mean, I would do it in a heartbeat if I needed to. But there was some talk at one point about before my sister flew the coop and left the family and is doing her own little thing on her own. There was talk about, I think at one point she was maybe going to leave her husband or something. And well, maybe she could live with you guys. And I'm like, no,
No. That would-
not even on the, I mean, that would not have worked. I mean, there are some dynamics that just aren't going to work, and that would not have worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it meant her being on the streets versus living here, I would have done it, but she had other options. But it is, there's just not, it's just not the same as it was like when we got married and, rents.
Your parents for a while.
We did. Well, because we moved back out here. We moved from Minnesota back out to Seattle. My husband got a job where we live now, which was about a 30-minute commute. But we had an apartment we wanted to rent, but it wasn't going to be, no, we were trying to save some money to get an apartment. So we lived with my parents, and that was challenging at the time. I had 2 little kids. They have a little Rambler house. So it was pretty crunchy. And then we stayed a little bit longer to save, because the apartment we wanted wasn't ready yet. It was going to be ready in a month. So it got desperate enough that I agreed to move into a placeholder apartment for 1 month. And we moved down into a small 2-bedroom apartment in the same complex, because the one we wanted, the people didn't move out. But I was desperate enough to get out of my parents' house that and at that point, everything we owned from our house in Minnesota was in a storage unit that I didn't get to pack up because I was here recovering from surgery. So my husband packed our whole house up. So everything came to the apartment and just got dumped in this little tiny apartment. Oh, it was so terrible. And then a month later, we moved across the parking lot to the bigger apartment. I mean, you just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. That was a long time ago. I don't really remember a lot of those details, which is probably a good thing. Do you have more haul, Tina?
Nope, that was it for haul.
Well, the only haul I have is this little tiny book it's French. M. Bonin, V. Engiger, and C. LaCroix. And it is all in French, but it's like nature patterns, look at that cute little bird.
Oh,
Those are cute.
And so like the strawberries on the front and the leaves.
Oh yeah.
cute.
And I just got it off of Amazon, but there's a whole page of bird houses.
Nice.
And this spring page.
Oh, that's cute.
Aren't they pretty? I mean, I don't know if I'll ever, I might use the borders. There's trees, there's.
I thought you were downsizing.
Huh?
I thought you were downsizing.
Of course I'm downsizing in every area but crafting.
Cross stitch.
And it wasn't that expensive. This is the gardening page. Look at the little gnome.
Oh.
It was like $9 or $10 or something like that. So I thought, I kind of want that. It's kind of along, I think the designer, Engiger, Veronica.
That's the one who did the Christmas book that we like.
Yeah. That's why I think I got it. I was searching for her stuff on Amazon.
Yeah, I was just recently too, and I wondered if I had just I was looking familiar and I thought, didn't I just see that on Amazon? I don't even know why I was searching for her
Yeah.
stuff.
Anyway,
That's funny. We were on the same track.
We were. That's about it, except for like I bought highlighters for my page.
You'll need more than that.
Well, I know. Just starting.
My husband would buy them in the 12 packs for me.
I want to hear that. I want to hear it.
I have no haul. No haul here. All my money has gone to birthdays. We're
Well, my other haul was that I got my pattern. I think I kind of showed
yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah,
My stitching shelf, Max Colors.
your gigantic one.
It's something, man.
You didn't get super size though. It's regular size max color.
Mhm.
Okay.
Regular size max color.
Uses 238 colors, 725 stitches by 518. Is that super size? Doesn't say
No.
super size. Just no.
That's just
I
regular.
just got the large print. I just got the large print.
Right.
But we were chatting beforehand. I might end up trying to maybe do Pattern Keeper on my tablet that we got for free that I hardly ever use, but maybe that would be just the thing for it. It's a nice size tablet too. It's a little bigger than a Kindle.
Why'd you say you don't have a tablet when we were
I kind of
chatting?
forget I have it. I
I don't have a tablet. Oh, wait. If you don't want to use it, pass it to me, then I'll do it.
No, I want to keep it. We got them for free as a promotional with T-Mobile. Our son worked there and he said, hey, you guys, they're giving away these tablets, giving them away. I mean, they're like 500, I don't know how much, but they're probably worth less now, and you got a free line with them. So you didn't have to pay for the service. So it was worth it to us. I should, maybe I'll try that too. We'll see.
Yeah, check it out.
Updates coming on that.
Yeah, I got a couple months to worry about it.
I mean, and you can wait until there's a sale and buy it for $9.
That's true. Because the PDFs were cheaper anyway than the prints.
If you buy the app, it's an app, right? If you buy it,
it's a one-time price.
I would want to wait until I had a tablet and get it for the tablet. I wouldn't want to, or I'd have to pay twice to have it on my phone or on my tablet. Is that right? Yeah.
Well, if you buy the PDF, you can store the PDF anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you buy your tablet and put Pattern Keeper on it. Then you can install that PDF onto that tablet.
Right.
Does Pattern Keeper
but I would want to wait till I had a tablet to get Pattern Keeper.
Is Pattern Keeper a one-time charge or is it a monthly?
One-time charge.
One-time charge to get the app.
And it gets updated regularly.
Okay, good to know.
So is it just going to show up on the app then? Or do you have to transfer it?
You have to go to add file.
Okay.
And then search for it in your tablet and import it. And it'll ask you a couple of questions. Like down here in the corner, there's a plus sign.
Mm-hmm.
So I would click on that and then find the file in my tablet and import it.
Because you saved it on your tablet. So then it just brings it over. Okay. Duh. Okay.
Or a Google Drive, or if you have a cloud somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a cloud.
We don't know.
I know one thing. I need a backup from my phone. I need a storage thing to get the pictures off my phone, because my phone has, I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't want to print them all. And so I need
computer.
Huh?
You put them on your computer.
I could do it on the computer, but that's kind of what I want. Something like that.
I need that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To back up my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pay for the cloud, it constantly wants me to update and pay for cloud storage, but it would be a monthly fee. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to get one of those things that Tina just showed and just get my photos off, because I'm always getting iPhone storage full or almost full. And so I have to go through and find pictures, and I should be doing that anyway, but like videos. And there's some videos of the granddaughters that I don't want to just get rid of just because I don't have room for them. So I I've got very few of like Sarah's little girl, Liddy. There's a couple that have been saved to Facebook that I love. And, it's fun to go back and look at those once in a while. So I don't want to get rid of the ones I have with Penny and Junie either. So yeah, that's my husband's next project. Find me one of those things, it's the right size. And I've had I mean, how long have we been taking pictures with our phones? A long time.
Yeah, now.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get a new phone,
Mhm.
that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, what's next on our agenda? Plans?
Well, we both have, well, we could either do plans or we could do giveaways. What do you
Oh,
like?
giveaways.
Let's do
yeah.
giveaways and then do plans.
Yeah.
Tina has one to draw and then we have one too.
Well, my giveaway is 5 because my 5-year Flosstube anniversary
Can I
happened.
enter them really quick and you redraw?
You had until yesterday.
And I saw your Flosstube anniversary notification popped up like last night. And I thought, oh, how did I miss that? Because it was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 I totally didn't get a notification of it.
So I have, the code word was happy. And now it wants me to refresh. Let me try this again.
Wow. Epic fail on my part.
I know. It could have been entered. I should have. Instead, I was planning how to make ice cream cake.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't really felt good for 2 weeks, so that might have been part of my problem too. We leave in 2 weeks for our vacation. I cannot even believe that it's here.
Jealous. Wish I was going on
So
vacation.
I'm all set here. So we got 37 people commented the word happy, which was the code word. The glow and stitches is 1. So my prize is I have their choice of 4 different gift certificates, $20 value each.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I really failed on this one.
And one of the options is heaven and earth.
What were the other ones? Heaven and Earth and
1, 2, 3, Etsy, and Garen Stitchery.
so this, and then you have 5 winners.
5 winners.
One of them.
Yeah. Sheila Bell. Chris Kira. Oh.
Because two of my boys go do my shopping every Thursday.
Whoops.
And it's
Sorry.
fun that it all happened. I was also shocked.
What are you
I was trying to figure out when our floss anniversary is, because it's going to be when I'm on my trip,
It's May.
23rd, I think.
What's this date?
So this one is Sarah King.
Oh,
She's
Sarah
from our
was
Stitching
so
Kingdom.
Sarah, I'm halfway there. It's May 23rd.
Oh, that's right. You put it in your.
Yeah. I put it on my thing.
We'll never forget.
We'll always remember now.
Painful to watch that one.
I have never gone back and rewatched our first one. I don't know if I could stomach it. I'm
wouldn't
not sure
recommend it.
are we better? Or is
I
it-
haven't watched your first one as far as I can tell.
Don't.
I should go back and watch and see if we're any less terrible.
No, I don't think we're any more awkward or weird acting than anybody else doing their first one.
Probably not. Oh, I like that picture.
And Donna Barker.
I don't know what that picture is, but it's nice.
That's pink.
Is it? Oh, I couldn't really tell. It was a
Yeah, I was
little...
gonna say that looks like pink.
Oh, yep. All I saw was the yellow crew cut. Like, wow, looking good. Then I thought,
Okay.
oh, I hope that's not what Donna Barker really looks like. I just
Sorry, Donna Barker.
thought
If you
that
haven't
was
watched this before, you'll know.
pink
this
is fine to joke about.
So I'll comment on all of those comments and they can get a hold of me and somehow we'll get some $20 gift certificates out to all those wonderful people.
Lucky winners.
Congratulations.
I know.
We had a giveaway last week too. It's the word was bird, and it's all the little bird houses. I can't remember the designer. It was
Still tiny one.
Rose,
Not a Hade.
Primrose.
Quick stitch.
Yeah, this is not a Hade. And the winner of this is stitching at the cabin. I'm not sure if it was Julie or Alyssa. You could fight over it. Whoever made the comment. That's so let us know. I think we have your address. I think we do. But you can let us know in case.
Usually they comment with a little J or an A at the end to say which one it was, like a signature.
Oh yeah. Here, let me look. Maybe it'll say.
I need to yeah, these have got to go out. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm a little behind still. I haven't had time. Sorry.
We don't have a giveaway this week because I need to get these taken care of.
Yeah, maybe we can get caught up this week.
I will for sure have them out before I go on this trip because that would be super embarrassing if I didn't.
Super embarrassing. The only other things we have left on my list is there is no J or A at the end of their comments, so I have no idea. Let's see. You can do it. Oh, but it must be Julie because she's the one with all the parrots. So it must be Julie.
Yeah.
Because her comment says bird, 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 bird. That was one of my parrots.
Did so I mailed you that little tiny town Valentine. Did it come to you?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Because it was really interesting. I got a message from Heather Miller not that long ago about a piece that finally made it to her, and I have no memory of sending it to her. That's how long ago I sent it.
Did I send it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think it got lost along the way.
I have, by the way, if Heather, if you're watching, I got your email. I just didn't want to do a featured friend since we were doing a collaboration. I thought we would just do featured friend next week. So I'll do
we
that.
have our real featured friend.
We're featuring our friends out here. Well, do you have plans for this coming week?
Yes.
What are they? That's the question.
Well, today is May 1st, and that's the beginning of Stitch Mania.
Yes.
It used to be a Facebook group, but it's no longer there. But and I know some people are doing Mental Health May instead. I'm more of a maniac.
Maniac.
I think I used to be more of a mental health person, and I think I've just developed into a maniac. No.
So you're just sticking true to the true meaning behind Stitch Mania from the beginning.
No.
I mean,
No.
well, not that.
Okay, so the original was they would do 15 new starts.
In 2015, right?
Yeah, that's when they started it, was 15 new starts for the month of May. And then it evolved and people would do 16 or 17 or whatever, or one every other day. I originally did 15 back when I first did Mania, which was, 5 years ago, because it was my first year of Flosstube, so 2017. And I'm still working on those projects.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm doing what they call, what is her name now? One of the other Flosstubers she has a method where you work on the project from the year before or previous years on that day. And if you had a finish, you have a day that you can start something new.
Oh.
So I'm doing something similar to that, only so that I can touch the previous starts. But I'm only starting five new projects and
one a week, basically.
1 a week. Yeah. And that was Dina, half stitch, cross stitch. She's doing a new start every Monday because there's 5 Mondays in May.
Uh-huh.
That way she could get those 5 in.
Yeah. So I thought, well, 5 is a manageable number, and I have a bunch that are already kitted up. So I just went into that bin and I pulled 5 out, and 1 of them is really small, and 3 of them are really big.
Really? From Tina? Tina.
And 1 of them is one I think that you
Hey.
should start with me, Kim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is that?
So this is one I think we should start on Mother's Day.
Oh.
Is it a
Just
really
because it makes me think of moms.
Oh, is it the sewing pattern, the vintage one? Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Oh, maybe I will start that on Mother's Day.
Oh,
That would be next week, but it's already kitted up.
It's already kitted up.
Yeah.
good.
But
haven't
I did change out the fabric because I don't like the Ada that came in
Yeah.
the kit.
I probably have something that I could use.
And I have some 28 count Monaco that's off-white.
Mm.
So
I think it'll work good for that.
Yeah, I think I've got lots of Monaco. I stocked up on Monaco during COVID because I was just buying every time.
You have a tub of Monaco. Rather than a bin of shame, you have a bin of Monaco.
Tub of fabric. And I never want to use it. Like I go out and buy new fabric.
I'm gonna start just taking stuff out of it each time. You're
Touch my
never gonna
fabric.
know. You would never know.
It's my retirement fabric.
I
Okay,
think
Mother's Day.
The start that I'm going to do today is one that I've had for a long time and wanted to start, and I bought Victoria sampler thread specifically for this,
Yes.
and it's the Rose Quaker.
Oh.
Oh, Tina, that's gonna be beautiful.
So, and I'm going to do it on this 32 count Nessie. I picture this plus.
That's gonna be beautiful.
With all those.
That's not too big either, really. Is it? I mean,
Your standards for what's really big.
Is it?
Really
compared to her, hey, this is like a walk in the park for her.
It is 251 by 331.
Okay, that's big.
15.6 by 20.6 on 32 count.
But it's not like solid stitching, I guess.
No, it's not solid stitching,
Mhm.
so it'll go a lot faster
Yeah.
than a hay.
Yeah. For
That's
sure.
gonna be beautiful. And those colors, wow.
Mhm.
Those colors actually just really remind me of roses too.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
And the other, actually, this is a small start. This is a small pattern. The Winter Mouse sister roll that my son got me for Christmas. He bought all the fabric and threads for it, so ready to go.
How do you assemble that? So just like a band, like a drum?
Yeah, it's just a band, and then it just rolls up and it's just tied together with a ribbon.
Oh, and then it has the mouse on top too?
There's the pattern for the little mouse too, and then it's
Oh.
basically like making a strawberry, but it's
Okay.
the opposite way.
That's gonna be so cute.
Yes, that is adorable.
Who is that? Who designed that pattern? The mouse on the
That's just Nan.
just Nan. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Super cute. Your boys are really good at picking out stuff for you.
They like my wish list.
But I mean, they get the fabrics, they get the threads, and
Yeah. Yeah, because I only had the pattern on there and he was like, just send everything for it.
That's impressive.
is that the one that's
And-
living in your upstairs craft room?
That's the one, yeah.
Since
This is the fabric and threads for the Queen of Hearts that we were just talking about
Oh.
by
Yeah.
Owl Forest.
is that their threads?
It is their threads.
Lucky.
And I even have one of their needle minders.
Oh.
Wow.
And
I wonder if people can even order from them right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I went looking on there a couple days ago because I was wondering about the owl forest, the stitch along, whether it was still up there, because I think it ended. I think it ended yesterday,
The
actually.
Alice one?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's still available. It was when I looked a couple days ago.
I just wonder about if they can receive payment from outside of
Yeah,
Russia.
I don't know.
Oh,
But
I
a free
know-
chart is a free chart. So
Right, free ones are.
I know
But
somebody from New Zealand had just ordered this kit because it came available again
Mm.
just before the war started, like days before. And I'm not even sure
they could
if
ship
she's
it out.
able to get it now.
Yeah,
Sad.
that's too bad.
Shepherd's bush amaryllis?
I've seen
Amaranth.
that one before.
Mm.
It's just
Their
a
pictures
band
are never
sampler.
very easy to see.
Not, but
I
I
feel
can
like,
picture it.
yeah, that's cute.
Did you get that on that stash unload too?
It was a stash and load and it came with the fabric and full skeins of DMC. So
How do you, I go on those stash unloads and every time I see something, it's already taken. Like, I
I
don't know
know.
how people get stuff. You're lucky.
it was just, that was just good timing.
Yeah,
Or people didn't want the shepherd's bush. I think
maybe.
that might have been it too.
Yeah.
And then this one I have pulled aside because I am going to restart it. But those were my 5 mania starts, and this one is, I'm going to restart this one very soon.
Oh, that's your poppies one.
That's the poppy one. And I had started this when we went to Thunder Bay for that surgery with my husband, and I was working on this in the hotel. But this is 14 count Ada, and I hate to say it, but I don't like the kit Ada.
It's not usually very nice, Ada, and 14 count for me is too big.
But I went in my fabric stash and I have a piece of 32 count platinum that I think
Nice.
is going to be perfect for that. Yeah, because it's got the sepia tones to it. So
it's a pretty piece too. In
Yeah.
general, that pattern, I think, is really pretty.
So those are my May plans.
So those
Well,
are your 5 starts, and then you'll be pulling out.
previous starts from previous years, which are
I did-
basically all Mirabilia and Nora Corbett right now.
Yeah. I did a form of that, not last year, the year before. So I did a year of mania where I did 15 or whatever the year was, new starts, my first year that I did it. And then the next year I did pull a bunch of those back out and did something very similar. I don't think I did it on the same day, but I worked on a bunch of those pieces. Not sure what we did last year, Sarah. We both did something.
I feel like we kind of planned a whip mania with new starts one every weekend.
Yes,
Kinda
that's
like
what I did.
similar, but I think I've never done mania where I've started that many new projects.
No.
So I have never had that many to like carry over into the future. And
Yeah.
I've probably finished a lot of my stuff that I've started.
I am not going to do mania this year because of the trip, because basically I'm gone the last half of the month and I won't get much stitching done. It'll be mostly knitting, and because I can't stitch in the car, and we'll be I might be able to stitch a little bit in the hotel rooms if I bring my small magnifier, and I probably will.
Yeah.
Because we'll probably roll into town most nights around, I think most of our days are 8-hour drives.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little bit of time in the evening to just watch TV, and I can stitch in a hotel room that way, but not a lot. And I'm not going to bring a ton of projects with me.
Yeah.
And I had that same problem in 2019. We traveled in May to Minnesota for a family wedding, and we were gone, and it just kind of threw me all off. So mania, not going to happen for me, but I am going to do my magazine monthly challenge, which I have not filled out yet because I didn't know today was May 1st. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. Which the theme
crept up on you.
It really did. I mean, and I think part of it's because the last 2 weeks those 2 weeks of April were so busy when we had family here, birthdays and Easter and all that. But I don't know what I'm going to do for music. I got to go back through my pieces and just kind of look. I kind of want to keep working on things that
I bet you'll
I
find.
I might go through my bucket of things that I've been working on that I don't want to put away that I haven't worked on for a while. Maybe pull something new out. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to keep working on my small, because I really would love to get that done, or the bulk of it done before we go on our trip, because I don't want that pressure when we get back. That I mean, I can assemble it and do whatever I want to do to it, or fully finish it. And I'm going to work on my WIPGO, which is Sunflower Fairy, and what was the other one? 13, 14, and 8. 13, 14. Oh, Hawk Run at Christmas.
Sunflower Fairy.
Sunflower Fairy, yes. What did I say?
No, you said it. I'm just pointing to it.
Oh, yeah, that one that's there in that picture there that she's got. And it's because of Tina that I actually have this going, because it was early on the first year of Magazine Monthly Challenge, and she posted that, and I'm like, oh, I really need that one. And I had never stitched, other than Gathering Eggs, a Nora Corbett, which, gosh, Gathering Eggs needs to come up on my WIPGO. It hasn't come up. I keep getting the same. And my May square for my May calendar piece will get worked on. Yeah, and probably my Four Seasons girls, my Barbara Anna. I didn't work on this week, but I want to make a dent in her too. She's kind of, I have till the end of beginning of summer, right? No, I did spring through winter. I really should get her done before summer starts, so I can start the fall piece in summer and start the winter girl in fall. That way I would have it done in a year. I better get cracking on that.
Yeah. Get cracking.
Because I was on a magazine. I could make that my music piece.
You can just do what I do and just not do.
Don't kick us out, Carolyn. Don't kick us out if we do that.
She told me she won't. She told me it's fine. I have permission. I have special permission from Carolyn.
I'm taking it by proxy. I might do that because I really want to work on that piece.
I'm not. There's no rules.
There's no rules. There's no crying in cross stitch.
I will work on my Tiny Traveler Haid for WIPGO, and I have the other two blocks that were called Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, so I'll be working on that quite a bit. And I'm gonna start. I do have my mania filled out. I'm better than you.
Your mania? That's not your mania. You're not doing.
I mean, my magazine monthly for May. So this is what I've got going on. I think I need to stitch about 5 hours on something, one of these or multiple of these to get it done by the end of the month. So I've got Spring at Hawk Run Hollow because it's Song of Solomon for my music. And then what do I have? Shores of Hawk Run Hollow I threw in there for the S, and that should cover my WIPGO. I have my Smalls Exchange, which I couldn't actually write down why I chose for the O because it would give something away. My Sunflower Aeolus will make an appearance this month. My Tunnel of Trees will make an appearance this month. That old, that Halloween one.
Yep.
On the dark fabric. And then D will be drum for my Alpaca Farm drum that I need to work on. So those are kind of my plans. And then I'm sure I will work on, I want to work more. I want to finish that one I started with the B. I didn't work on it at all this week because I didn't have time.
Yeah.
But I would like to put some more time into that one because I think
it's too cute to give away unless you're going to give it to me.
All right, I won't give it away. Why would I give it to you?
Was I the special person? Oh wait, my initial's not a B. You're making it a K, right?
No, I already did the B. So that's what I'm working on. The only other thing I have on my list is books. What is everybody reading?
I don't read. I don't have time to read.
I'm still reading Maisie Dobbs, and I'm watching Call the Midwife again.
Oh yeah,
Call the Midwife.
I'm on season. I thought I was way behind, but I'm actually not. I think I am just about done with season 9, so I just have season 10 on Netflix. And of course, the most current season I was DVRing, and I thought, oh, I'll just watch those on Netflix, and I got rid of the recordings. No,
they're not on yet. Probably
they're not on yet, and the Christmas special from 2021 isn't on yet. I really wanted to see that because I think somebody gets married on it. But I've been watching that at night when Dad goes to bed, and that's just an easy because it's a pretty emotional show, but it just rolls one after another, and it's easy for me to stitch to it. I don't have to pay like, there's no subtitles or anything, or
Right.
so I've been doing that, and I really haven't read much. I really haven't. I've been staying up late and stitching, and or going to bed because I'm tired, not feeling good.
Yeah. I'm still reading Cloud Cuckoo Land, that big Anthony Dewar one, which is such a funny name. Whoa, sorry, just dropped my cup. But I haven't read that one as much this week. It's kind of, I have to kind of be in the right mood, but I really shouldn't because it's a library book and it's giant. So I kind of need to just read it whether I'm in the mood or not.
Yeah.
But one of the I've been reading, I forgot to say this one last time. I've been reading over the last few weeks a book called The Life-Giving Table, and it's by a gal named Sally Clarkson, who I like. Just kind of about family traditions and the importance of eating together in parenting, and how, like, even kind of scientifically what studies say about families who sit down and have a meal together regularly, and different kinds of things around that related to faith and art and beauty. And it's been a really enjoyable book. I really like that author. She has a podcast I like to listen to. So that one's easy because it's on my phone, on my Kindle app. So I can just read a little bit here, a little bit there.
You know what's funny is at dinner, Todd and I will sit together down here, and we've been starting to do Wordle. So we both have our phones out and we're doing Wordle.
Yeah.
I got one letter.
Well,
We're together, yeah.
We do Wordle
it's interesting that you brought that up, because after, I'm not even sure when it really happened. I think it started happening. Okay, when we were raising our kids, we always had dinner at the table. We always sat at the table. Whoever was home when the kids got older would sit at the table and eat. Very rarely did anybody take their food into their bedroom as teenagers. I didn't really go with that. But at some point, and I can't even really pinpoint when, my husband and I started just eating on the couch and on the chair and watching TV. We just tired, and even with them living in the property, on our property, we just did that. And part of it was, I think it started kind of, I think it started during the pandemic, actually, because Sam and Ashley were here, and we had gotten in the habit of watching a TV show, like a half-hour show while we were all eating together, right? I think we were watching Kim's Convenience, which is set up in Canada.
Oh yeah.
We just, I love that show. And so we started watching that, and I don't know, it just kind of happened, I think, mostly during COVID. It might have happened before that. But, and then as people have been living here in and out, over the last couple of years, my dining room table is kind of a catch-all spot. And so there'll be serving bowls that need to get put away in the hutch that there's no room for right now. Or I would have bowls of fruit out, or I would have like Christmas candy sitting out from Christmas for people to just please eat, right? Or it was kind of just a catch-all, and I didn't really want to sit there and eat. Well, I know it kind of bugs my husband because he really likes to eat at the table. Oh. And also I hated our chairs. Our chairs in our dining room were really uncomfortable.
That makes a difference in whether you want to sit in them and spend time together.
They're shallow. And actually my new chairs with my mom and dad's table are not much better, but we're not sitting there for hours. So I can handle it longer, but they cut off the circulation in my thigh, and then they're uncomfortable. But anyway, I took the leaves out of the table, and I never knew that table, the table was at my mom and dad's house, always had the end leaves in, and there's 2 more leaves you could put in. And it always had the 2 in it, which was always really big in their dining room. I don't know why they always had that big table in there. But when we brought it home in March, since we had family, I left the leaves in, but now there's nobody really coming right now. So I took the leaves out, they slide out. And the table is actually a little square table, and I've never seen it that nice size. And it fits in my dining room really nice when it's just the 2 of us. And I bought a new centerpiece for it at Hobby Lobby, made a centerpiece. And Dad came home, he goes, oh, I said, look at the table, isn't that cute? He goes, yeah, maybe we could eat there a couple nights a week. So I know he really wants to go back.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, this is just a quote I really liked in here. So she says, in the book that I'm reading, if there is one main idea I would like to communicate in this book, it would be to underline the profound importance of talking together, communicating, and discussing ideas at every mealtime gathering, because the table is a very satisfying place to educate both children and adults. In all our travels, I still find it rare to meet people who are widely read, who are bubbling over with convictions and ideas, who are driven by messages that have captured their imagination, whose lives are driven by ideals, both biblical and wise. Yet I think these qualities in a person's life show emotional health, mental muscle, the ability to think well, a soul engagement with wisdom, and the ability to live a productive and focused life. They are what Clay and I purposed to develop in our children by creating a strong table talk culture. Often people ask us, how did your children end up studying at Oxford, Cambridge, and other great schools? What did you do to prepare them for that? Honestly, we just lived our table routines. Looking back, all of us think our table culture of talking and discussing every possible idea was profoundly educational and gave our kids a great vocabulary without even using a vocabulary list. And of course, they did education outside of that, but I just thought that's exactly what we already kind of do. But I'm enjoying the book because it's really helping like me think through ways as the girls get older and we're facing more difficult or more involved conversations to just really encourage me to keep doing that. Like those are really worthwhile. And she says like some nights it's just going to be really silly, like you're going to be annoyed, like, and it's true, like some nights I'm just like, where there's nobody here with manners, there's, you know,
Yeah.
let's just finish dinner and get it over with. But I really do like that idea of trying to set up the atmosphere so that we want to linger at the table together, even on nights where we kind of have to eat fast and move on to the next thing that happens. But if what they grow up with remembering is that coming together and talking through important ideas, that's what I want for them to.
Right.
And I think that.
And I think too, one of the things that Dad and I have talked about, because like I'll give him like little games in his stocking, like dice games and stuff like that. But when we were dating many, many years ago, we played backgammon a lot. Always wins, but we played backgammon a lot. And cribbage is kind of big in our family. And I thought, you know, I had told him this year at Christmas that I want, and here we are, April, and I haven't done it yet, but that we would maybe play a game twice a week. So now we could play into this night that we sit at the table and eat before we would turn the TV on, because it's gotten very easy to come home from work. We're both tired. Well, I don't come home. I stagger out of this room, and just kind of want to zone out. And I think, you know, I see couples all the time, like at Starbucks playing cribbage. Like they'll get to, you know, they'll go out and play cribbage. And I think it's nice. It's a nice connection. And we play trivia crack on our phones together. Like when we go out to restaurants, sometimes we'll be sitting there and because it's a dual game. And so like, I'll take my turns and then it pops over to him. And so, I mean, that's okay too. I mean, I just think as long as, you know, it just, it's a nice connection that we don't necessarily have when you're just sitting and eating dinner in front of the TV, although that's really nice some nights.
That's one of the things that we do is Saturday and Sunday after we wake up and get my stitching out of the way and stuff. We play a game. We generally it's one of those, Ticket to Ride.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
Those are fun.
So we'll play those or something else.
Yeah.
But it's like 2 hours bonding.
Yeah.
Just
it is
nice.
You make this very unpleasant.
Huh?
That's one of our sayings to each other. You're making this very unpleasant.
You should see Sarah and Jesse play a game together.
We're a little competitive with each other.
I wasn't sure their engagement was going to make it.
Our first big real fight was over Monopoly.
We don't play Monopoly.
No, we don't either.
My husband hates Monopoly. We've never played it.
He's kind of cutthroat and I'm competitive too, but I'm kind of like mad. But your mom, you're the same way. You and Dad play games exactly the same way Jesse does. You're making this very unpleasant. I'm going to use that next time we play Phase 10.
I love Phase 10. The rest of the family hates it.
You do? Do you love it even when you're losing?
Not usually, but I don't usually lose.
I think that intentionality is important because it is really easy to just slide into just passive acceptance of life or taking stuff in. But games are such a great way to just laugh and connect. I feel like you have something together that matters, that you spend time together and you're not just staring at each other. And then that's something to talk about. Like,
after you've raised your kids, I mean, you enter a whole new phase of life together where all of a sudden the kids aren't your unifying. I mean, they're still there. I mean, obviously we're still unified over our kids, but they're not the hot topic every night, right? You know, or
Mhm.
I mean, dad does come home and say, you talked to any of the kids today? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, nothing major. Just, you know, Cassidy will FaceTime me with Junie, and I might talk to Sarah some days during the day, but it's not every day that I talk to all the kids, but he does check in because he doesn't read his text messages. So there could be something really major going on and he wouldn't know.
I just
but-
found out that our cow is out. So I probably have to end this soon for me.
Oh, no.
Cow was out.
I don't know. She never gets out, but she's apparently out. The neighbor just came and told us.
Well, tell Jesse to go get the cow.
Oh, my mom says, Jesse, go get the cow. Kind of a two-person job.
I know.
I hate this. I hate this. Well, I guess I better go. Guess that's
It
the
was
end.
fun.
Thanks for,
It
yeah,
was so much fun.
thanks,
It
Tina.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
And I will start that piece on Mother's Day too.
Okay,
We'll do it.
that's a good plan.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it on my sticky note.
All
You
right.
have at least one new start.
There you go.
Okay.
Love you guys.